like the video. Thumb up the video.
Peace and Black Power family. How y'all doing out there, man? You know, another good Wednesday night. You know, I'm feeling good. My team won the cup last night. Now, I know it's not the championship, but God damn it, every team was in that. They was in it. And only two teams made it. San Antonio and the Knicks. And the Knicks pulled it out. And they won the semifinals cup, the championship. Now we going for the rings. Yeah, good. Powerful right there. Dr. Reggie, you there? I see you. You there, Dr. Reggie? Suntan, shut up. The Pistons ain't even make it. They got knocked the hell out. They got knocked out, man. So knock it off. The Pistons got knocked out. So shut up, Suntan. They tried their best to make it. They was at home watching the Knicks. The hell is wrong with you, Suntan? They was at home watching New York play. Watching New York and San Antonio. And man, was it a game. Dr. Reggie, are you in the building? I sent you the link to your email, Dr. Reggie. When y'all come in, hit that link for me. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We got 14 likes and we got like 50 people in the building already. Let's hit that like as we come in, y'all. And don't be scared to hit that Cash App. The Cash App works. I'm bringing you some real good information. And I'm going to bring you the debate between Inky and Ugg tomorrow. Between Inky and Ugg tomorrow. So I'm going to give that up. I'm going to give that to y'all. Keon, what it is, my man? What's going on, young brother?
Environment, enter at your own risk. The HOK is the toughest environment, enter at your own risk.
Yo, I grew up where the air hung heavy and thick, every corner a battlefield. Gotta be quick, street light, neon sound in the toughest environment, feet on the ground. I talk fluent in the silent language that the broken walls speak. This is a fortress of steel, when that patch speaks, no escape from HOK. This is real, before you come in here, you better know the deal.
Carry the whole block's weight in my soul. Born from the cinder block, ashes, people are cool. The toughest environment is me. Built from the concrete, the toughest environment is sa.neter. When you step into the Colosseum, we gon' see them. The ancient of the days, artifact in the museum, yeah.
Enter at your own risk. Don't be like a little bitch.
Oh my, my. Enter at your own risk.
Don't be like a little bitch.
Yeah, this way it goes down, down, down. Try to win, you gotta have tough skin.
The concrete freeze like ice. Israelites cool-blooded, think twice, The air cuts like a scalpel. Survival ain't a choice, it's a physical grapple. Where the street lights blink, judgment in the shadows hold a price. Grew callous over fear, paid my dues in pure sacrifice.
Shout out to all those that support this channel. Special days to you. Without you there is no me.
Check.
Yeah. We waiting on our brother, Dr. Reggie. Come on in the room, kaboom, brother. Come on in the room, kaboom, brother. That's going to be my next lyric. Yeah, y'all don't know. Y'all didn't know I'd be writing them lyrics. Yo, see? Y'all didn't know something that it could spit a little bit. I can't spit, but I know how to sit down and do a little writing. You know what I'm saying? I can sit down and just do a little writing now. Damn, I kind of like that. Let me do that again.
toughest environment. Enter at your own risk. The HOK is the toughest environment. Enter at your own risk.
Yo, I grew up where the air hung heavy and thick. Every corner a battlefield. Gotta be quick, street light, neon sound. In the toughest environment, feet on the ground. I talk fluent in the silent language that the broken walls speak. This is a fortress of steel. When iPad speaks, no escape from HOK. This is real. Before you come in here, you better know the deal.
Carry the whole block's weight in my soul. Born from the cinder block, ashes, people are cool. The toughest environment is me. Built from the concrete, the toughest environment is sa.neter. When you step into the Colosseum, we gon' see them. The ancient of the days, artifact in the museum, yeah.
Enter at your own risk. Don't be like a little bitch.
Oh, mama, enter at your own risk.
Don't be like a little bitch.
Yeah, this way it goes down, down. Try to win, you gotta have tough skin.
The concrete freeze like ice. Israelites cool-blooded, think twice, The air cuts like a scalpel. Survival ain't a choice, it's a physical grapple. Where the street lights blink, judgment in the shadows hold a price. Grew callous over fear, paid my dues in pure sacrifice.
Shout out to all those that support this channel. Special days to you. Without you there is no me.
Check.
Man, oh man, my writing skills is getting up there. I know y'all didn't know I can't rap, but I can sit down and write some raps. You know, I can sit down and write some raps. It'll probably take me about 3 or 4 hours, but I'll get it together. Anyway, we got my brother Dr. Rkhty in the building, and we got our brother Dr. Montgomery in the building as well. And Rkhty brought this brother through. And this is going to be a real good build today. And without any further ado, I pass the mic to you, Dr. Rkhty. What's going on, brother?
Brother Rkhty is fine, Brother sa.neter, and for Baba Montgomery, Baba Bonotchi, we call him. We say, Dua, thank you for having us on this show. And this is going to be an important show because sa.neter, the brother that you're looking at is one of our greats, and the problem is we know Dr. Shekinah Diop, and we know Dr. Theophile Obenga, and we've heard of Dr. Rkhty Amen, right? We know Dr. Mario Beatty, but the brother that you're looking at, the Baba right here, he studied under Dr. Theophile Obenga. And he works with Dr. Rkhty, and he is older these days. But when we look at what we have as far as Medu Neter teachers, what we have is Baba Bonotchi, who's still very active, and Dr. Mario Beatty, and then we have their students, right? And these are the people that we would we go to help us correct grammar, to help us understand what a sentence actually might say, whether a sentence is figurative, literal, or even if the sentence is authentic, if it was something that came from the Nile Valley. And so this is our first line of defense, the brother that you are looking at. And so just to keep the record, because one of the things that you do is keep a record of, so you would be upset if you did not have Baba Bonotchi on your show. You would absolutely, and he interacts with us. He interacts with Anka Kek. He interacts with certainly students and Abibitumi. Oh, and I was mistaken to leave out Dr. Obadeli Cambone, who is also, so Dr. Obadeli Cambone, Dr. Mario Beatty, Baba Bonotchi, Sister Rkhty largely teaches to advanced students and things like that, and then their students. And of course, we have the generation of people that you see all the time, which is Smash Rockwell and myself, and people that go on and Son Ka, right? But this is our Baba. This is one of our go-tos, who still has time to talk with us. So where I want to go is first, Baba Bonotchi. I don't know if you met Dr. Diop in your time, but if you can talk about Dr. Diop and your thinking of him, and then go to Dr. Theophilo Obenga and Dr. Rkhty. Is that fine? You're muted, or we can't hear you. We've been through this before. We can't hear you. We see you. We see you moving your mouth. Click the unmute button again and see what happens.
He's not muted. Oh yeah, now it looks like his thing is. There you go. Now he's not muted. He got to go out and come back in, Reggie. That's all.
Baba Bonotchi, come back, go out and come back in.
I'm gonna kick him out, and then all you gotta do is come back in.
Right. And if I have to, I have to call him. So sa.neter, you're looking at one of the greats in the field of Africans who actually know the language. How do you feel about that, huh?
I feel good about it.
Yeah,
good.
And to have him on your show while he's still active is really great. And to help us solve some problems that we seem to be having about the writing, the language, those people who say that it's not deciphered. So when he's going to show some examples and talk about his recollections with people. And then he's an expert in word usage, because he has to do that when he does the sa.neter.
Let's see if we can hear him, Reggie.
Baba, can we hear you?
He put it on mute. He got it on mute.
Okay, Baba, switch the mute button.
Yeah, there you go. Now he's off.
We still can't hear you. Okay. Okay.
His joint is back on mute again.
Yeah, he's wiring something. But if I have to, I'll just call him and let him talk, and you'll hear the audio.
He's on mute.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call him. And let's see if you can hear him on. He's got wires in his hands. Let's see if I can just call him.
He probably don't have his speaker set up or his mic set up.
He goes on shows all the time. He teaches.
Yeah.
I was on yesterday. I was online yesterday.
Okay. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna see if the people.
You gotta go on mute too, Reggie, if you're gonna do it like that. See, it's not gonna come out right because your phone gonna echo. Get off mute, Reggie. I can't hear you. Get off mute, Reggie. We can't hear you.
I'm on the phone talking to him, so I'm saying
Right. We can't hear you if you mute it.
yes.
No, that ain't gonna work. It's an echo, man.
Okay, so sa.neter says it's not going to work. So can you take some time and try to figure out what's going on?
Now, if he called me, it'll work because I
Okay.
hooked it up to my machine.
Okay, good. So Baba Bonotchi. Okay, he's going to try something else.
Text me his number if you can, Reggie. But he should be able to try to find something else.
Okay. Okay. Turn off your mute button, Baba, and speak.
Turn on.
Okay. So Baba Bonotchi, I have to give you a phone. I have to text you a phone number, and you can call sa.neter. Sorry about this, sir. Okay. So you're gonna text me the number? Okay, sa.neter, text me the number.
Who, me?
Yes, text me your number so he can call in.
All of a sudden, you don't know my number, Reggie? It's in the private chat. It's in the private chat, Reggie.
Okay.
We'll try a different mic also. See if this will work.
He's trying a different mic, seeing if that'll work. Y'all be patient with us, y'all. This is going to be a great show. Just be a little patient.
Still not working.
Okay, fine. I sent you a phone number, so stay on YouTube. Just mute your mic and use your phone.
Call the number.
Check it. So you say, Mike.
Did you call sa.neter?
Not yet. He ain't called me.
Call him now.
Hold up. He just said something.
Wait, Baba Bonotchi, we just heard you. Say something again. 1 second.
Yeah, tell him talk.
Baba Bonotchi. Baba Bonotchi.
Yeah, he can't hear us, so. Hang up, Reggie. You got to hang up so it won't be an echo.
Always. Okay. I'm calling now. Oh, you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the other microphone worked.
Yeah, there you go. We can hang up. Hang up. Hang up, Reggie. Yeah. All right, we back in action, y'all. We in action.
Okay.
Okay, now let's see. Let me get my volume up because you're low. Okay, so we're now we're
Talk to him, Reggie.
Okay. Baba Bonotchi Montgomery. You've had an extensive
I can't hear you now.
Oh man, can you hear me? You can't even hear me.
testing. Can you hear us?
Okay, I got it. I see what the problem is.
Can you hear us?
He's solving a problem.
Okay, I'm straight.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. We back in. We in it.
Man.
Let's go, Dr. Reg.
Good job. Baba Bonotchi,
Yes.
you've had a great journey. You have met some great people on your path of understanding the sa.neter. I wanted to know first, have you ever met Dr. Rkhty Diop, or the close? Have you? What is the closest that you've come to working with Dr. Rkhty Diop or not?
Dr. Joe. I mean, Dr. Obenga.
No. Okay, no, his student. That's why first I wanted to see if you worked with Dr. Joe.
No, that was the closest I have had a chance to work with Joe. Was with his student, Obenga also. Moot also, she received her marching orders from Joe also. She visited him in a synagogue, and he impressed on her that, that was something that all of us need to get involved in, and that is studying the sa.neter text.
Okay. Can you tell us about your experience first with Dr. Obenga?
Well, I was a student of Obenga and Moot at the same time. Rkhty was like smooth as silk, nice, patient. She absorbed all of our ignorance, and Obenga, on the other hand, I tell people learning sa.neter from Obenga, I never felt this much of oppression since I was in a Marine Corps boot camp. So that's the type of pressure being put on.
Okay, you are known to put pressure on your students, but tell us, what time period is this? When is this happening that you are working with Dr. Rkhty and Dr. Obenga?
Well, my journey into the Nile Valley actually started with Dr. Ben in 1976 or 77. And I studied, he came to Detroit every summer and he did seminars. And I did that from 76 to 80 to 1980. And then he took his first trip, he took his first group to the Nile Valley in 1980. I wasn't on that group. I was in the one in 1981, the year after that. And I tell people that Dr. Ben, he dunked me in the Nile River, and I have never come up. So it was just a continuation of the work from being associated with, Dr. Ben. It's interesting because Dr. Ben, Rkhty, and Obenga, they were some Black nationalists. So my perspective and the manner in which I study the language is based on them. So I tell people all the time, I am not a priest.
Okay.
Now, what I find interesting, just as a side note, you can always tell, or I should say, what you should always do is our study of this language and the study of the culture hasn't been deeply engaged for that long. What you should do, anybody who's trying to teach you is sa.neter or anything about Kemet, you should ask who their instructors were, because you will find that there is that this study is so new until you can really learn, or you can become aware of where this individual starts from.
And that's why we're starting with you. Okay, so your journey on this started in 1976 with a study group or individual in Detroit. How did that work?
Uh, these were both individuals, and we did form study groups, but primarily these were seminars that were held. Dr. Ben came and he spoke 2 times a day, and he did this for a couple of weeks throughout the summer every year. So we were attending those seminars by him, and then one year he said, okay, this is going to be the last one. We were like, what the hell? What you mean you can't do that? But he was saying because the next one is going to be in Kemet. So after that, he started operating the tours to Kemet, and his initial students, or I should say, the initial folks who were on that tour were people who had been studying with Dr. Ben for as many years.
Okay, wonderful. So this is in this period of 76. Do you recall, just as a side, people religiously or spiritually practicing the culture at that time? Do you recall anything?
Yes, I was one. I was around the same time that our group studied the Meta-Nature, we became involved in Yoruba also. We were introduced to Yoruba as a religion, but it was based on the Yoruba language. So we were more so into learning Yoruba as a language so that we could better understand what the Babalawo was saying. And so that's I hate to say spiritual traditions, because how do you do anything spiritually? We're going to have to come up with some better terms to more accurately express what it is that that we want to do and that all of us are involved in. So I like to say traditions of spiritual appeal, because you can't, like I say, you can't do anything spiritually. So spirituality, meaning doing something or of the spirit, you can't. If you ask anybody what their spiritual practices are, they tell you what they do physically.
Okay. What about people doing Nile Valley? Were you a believer in Nile Valley? How can I say traditions?
A believer in Nile Valley tradition. But see, I have a problem with this whole concept of asking somebody about what a belief, right? You can only have a belief in something that's abstract. How would you ask someone, do you believe in the sun? You believe in trees. You see what I'm saying? So those are crazy questions. So I don't have
well, people talk like that in our community.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about. That's what my whole book is about, is like we use such abstract terms until the terms don't really have any meaning in the physical world. But they are terms that we use to talk about shit that don't really have any effect.
Okay. So, but you are aware of people who actually practice this tradition.
Yes.
Okay.
The major problem I find is this, right?
Well, I don't want. I know I asked a question. I just wanted to move on because I wanted to let the people know about.
Let me answer that though. The problem with most of these spiritual traditions is that they were started before Black people really had an understanding of the Meta-Nature language, and so that what happened is that like they what I have found is that like many of them have many false concepts and ideas about Kemet, because Black people just started translating the Meta-Nature text over the past 50 years. It's 40. I'm not quite. Yeah, no, right. I'm not quite that old. for the past 40 years. I was one of the first generation of African scholars, or who African scholars, of students of African scholars who started to study and translate the Meta-Nature text.
Oh, that's important to know. And so your point was that a lot of the traditions have been started before we were actually had a good knowledge of the
Text.
language, the text and the language, right?
So they have a lot of misconceptions.
And
That's
so some of those groups would be, for example, maybe Osiris Set was started early. Do you know that group?
Well, the Osiris Set, I mean, look at the book that the brother wrote. It's Meta-Nature, right?
Yes.
There's none in the book.
You
So
said there's no Meta-Nature in the book.
in his book called Meta-Nature, there's none. I repeat, none in the book. So these are type of things that we find ourselves up against, so to speak, because that book has been very popular amongst our people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It has nothing to do with Kemet.
Mm-hmm.
So, it has been a source for a whole bunch of people, and basically it's just a bunch of made up stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know of another group besides Shechem or Shechem's Osiris Set, Ra'u Nefer? Do you know another group that was?
Bunch of them, but I'd rather not get involved in talking about these different groups, because some of the people in there are trying to wake up, so to speak, and so that, like, I do appreciate them trying to
Yeah.
have a more textual foundation. But the problem is this: Christianity has a textual foundation. Islam has a textual foundation. So something having a textual foundation doesn't mean it's worthwhile. Doesn't mean it's worth anything, because all of those Abrahamic associations, systems of spiritual appeal, all of them have textual foundation.
Okay. So, with this, okay, let's go back to your journey with Dr. Let's do Dr. Rkhty first, and then we go back to Dr. Obenga.
Okay.
How did you meet Dr. Rkhty? Amen.
Oh, that's a tale that needs to be told. We met at Rkhty because we were studying with some people who didn't like our didn't like what we were doing in life. So they called a meeting and they kicked us out the group. So we were looking for a Meta-Nature instructor, and me being associated with ASCAC, I had seen Moot in the Nile Valley, so I knew what that she could actually read the text. So I approached her, and I should say we approached her, and we became students of her first.
And what year was this?
Woo. Now you get, let's see, 80. I'm not sure, man. It may have been like, let's see. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I can figure it out. 74, 77. Okay, it was in, I think, 1979 or 1980.
Okay, so you was able to meet Moot Rkhty.
Yes.
In that period, 79, 80, right? Yeah. In the Nile Valley.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. I was on the trip in 1987, and that's when I knew that, like I say, that's when I experienced her translating text. And then when we got back, it was 2 years after that we became a student, or either a year. It was 2 years after that we became a student of hers. So that was in 1987. Mm-hmm. That'd be 1989.
Okay. And this was in person? Certainly wasn't. It wasn't online.
It was both. We had we arranged a correspondence course. So we used snail mail. So we sent our exercises in, by mail, and then because all of us was pretty independent in terms of economics. We visited her a lot in New York. We would hop in a car, a van, and drive there, and spend a couple of days with her.
Wow. Okay. And so you became students of her, and then tell us about real quick about the experience with with Moot Rkhty.
As I said, she was well. Okay, first let me say this. Obenga told us. He said, "Listen, stick with Moot Rkhty." He said she's the only Black scholar I've met who is proficient in understanding this language. So he told us, stick with her and learn everything that you possibly can from her. You can't go wrong. So what we found was like, that was the truth. So we had a very personal relationship with the both of them. We were in a position because financially we were able to pay them a lot of money. Now, that wasn't the only reason that they associated with us, but we knew that if we paid them correctly, they would want to associate with us, because first off, none of us was associated with any academic institution. We were all sisters and brothers in the street. Obenga, when he came here, is both of them. When they came here, they engaged the Black community in Detroit.
Wonderful. Okay, so you have these two great teachers, Moot Rkhty and Dr. Theophilo Obenga. And Dr. Theophilo, as we know him, is famous because he presented with Dr. Diop in the 1974 symposium in Cairo on the peopling of the Nile Valley and the deciphering of the Meroitic script. And this is the first time Africans gave a pushback to UNESCO, and since then it has changed the way that UNESCO engages the work as a multidisciplinary work, and now including Black scholars or African scholars, whatever you want to say. So you had the privilege of working with Dr. Moot Rkhty, who worked with Diop, right? Who translated some of his publications into English,
right?
Early stage, and then learning the sa.neter from her. And you say she was easy as
she was smooth as butter. A student of hers liked to. He describes his relationship with her like this, which I definitely agree with. He said, Rkhty is so smooth until she would cut you and you wouldn't even realize that you've been cut until you look down and realize you was bleeding.
You're bleeding all over the place, right?
Exactly.
She's not like that so much now. She would immediately tell you, you're wrong. Everybody disregard what that person says and call on the next person to do the exercise, right? Do I got that right?
Yes. And see, our problem was there were only 3 people in the class, 4 at one time, but it turned out there were only 3 people in the class. Well, I mean, you don't have no place to hide.
You don't have any.
You can't. There was no place to hide. All your stuff is laid out underlined.
Okay, so this is like a griot tradition amongst people learning to be griots, and the instructor is going to make sure that the tradition survives. If not, it will die. Getting back to Dr. Ben real quick. Dr. Ben's education in the Nile Valley is incredible. There is this claim about Dr. Yosef Ben Jochanan's competency in the sa.neter. How do you assess it?
He never claimed to be competent in the sa.neter. When I approached him for someone to learn from, he turned us on to an associate of his.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't. That was not something he taught or that he professed that he knew. In one of his early books, I can't remember the name of it now. But he talks about how that he was just doing some beginning study of the meta-nature text in terms of in terms of learning how, in terms of being a translator. Could I say one thing about Doc and my association with him?
The floor is yours, sir. We just
And did was he enabled us to understand the intellectual foundation of Western society. He turned us on the book so that we could understand this is where they get their information from. So he enabled us, like I say, he gave us information that enabled us to understand the intellectual foundation of Western society.
Okay, that's great. So this is from someone who actually knows Dr. Ben in the early period, but he wrote great books on the Nile Valley, especially some books with a lot of meta-nature in it, like Apple Symbol, right?
Most of it is meta-nature. When you examine it, is based on Budge and Budge's translations. I'm not sure if he did any original translations of his own. And of course, I'm saying that as a staunch admirer of Dr. Ben, and not to take anything away from him. As I just told you, I really have a profound appreciation for the information that he turned us on to.
Okay. This is why we do shows like this, and so we have a recording of the past. I would say that in Apple Symbol, his book Apple Symbol, he for the most part accurately recorded what was on the walls and then did commentary on it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that he translated anything, but he certainly in my
You said what you said was that's fine. I got you.
In my work with Dr. Ben, certainly he could read king's names. He always knew where he was in the temple, right? He knew the layout of the temple. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to now let's go a little bit to Dr. Theophilo Obenga. What is your experience with him as far as learning the meta-nature?
I told you he was a taskmaster. Obenga, we studied with Obenga for years, as many years, him and her, before they allowed us to be instructors.
Okay, and what did he say about, or what was his temper on talking about people that studied Nile Valley without the language?
Well, because the majority of Black scholars was in that boat, so he used to say that he wished that more of them would study the language.
Okay,
but the Black scholars at that time could not translate the meta-nature. Jacob Crothers was one of the first ones to attempt and do a serious study of the language.
Okay, Dr. Carruthers.
Right.
And Dr. Rkhty was associated with him. One of the things I need to do real quick, I need to put in the chat so the mods can put it up. What is your Cash App? It's dollar what?
And my first name is Bonotchi.
Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the chat, and if some of the mods can actually find it to make it a link, we would appreciate that. Okay, so so Dr. Theophilo Obenga was a taskmaster. What do you recall him saying about the UNESCO, his experience with the UNESCO symposium?
He said the joke stood in the back of the room, and he told him as long as he didn't make any gestures, he was doing okay. But he told him if he ever told him to stop, then that meant he was screwing up. And he said that he said the joke made no gestures. you know. But Obenga, when we were studying with him, you know, he beat us up. And one day, after class, we was in his hotel room, and he said, "Look, you guys, I know that you feel, you know, stupid, and you know that you don't know anything." He said, "But you have to realize that this is what this how Joe taught me. I'm passing on what Joe taught me in the manner he taught me." He said, "Because when you learn this language, you're gonna find that you're gonna be attacked, and you're gonna have to be able to defend yourself. And unless you have a good grasp of the grammar, people will be able to just talk circles around you, and they'll realize that you don't know what you're talking about." When I first learned this language, I had a meeting with Obenga, and I told him, I said, "Dr. Obenga, I moved to the head, what they call that, of the food line. I mean, the food, I forgot the saying. But anyway, what I found out was that I was associating with people on various websites, and come to find out that all these people were either grad students or they were studying, of course, what they call Egypt, and but nobody could see me, so nobody knew that I was this, you know, this black dude from Detroit who could translate this text. And I found out that like I could hang it's with them. I knew as much about the language, and I could interpret it and talk about it from an informed standpoint. And so, it's the food chain. That's what they call it. I told Obenga I moved to the top of the food chain because I'm associated with all of these PhDs and, you know, grad students. And, you know, here I am, a street hustler from Detroit with no degree.
Okay. So many people are not, how can I say, they don't know you. They're not acquainted with you, right? Maybe in New York or this online situation is new. Can you tell us why?
Why they're not affiliated with me?
Acquainted with you. Do not know.
I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
You know, I don't. Right. I'm not trying to. Well, I don't know. I mean, I do my work, and those who are familiar with my work, you know, they can get in touch with me.
Okay.
Like the video, thumb up the video.
You're in the biggest, one of the biggest platforms that does this information.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever met sa.neter.
Now, interestingly, when I look at him, first I got him and Ankh.
Confused.
Yes, confused. And when I look at him, I say, well, I think I met him. Now, I know I met Ankh at a conference, but I'm not sure if I've ever have met him, if I've ever ran into sa.neter.
sa.neter. Son of Neter, sa.neter. Well, you're on the biggest platform where there are lots of other platforms now that seem to be big, but this is one of the biggest, oldest platforms.
Yes.
And this is Brother sa.neter, right, in his full glory right now. And so finally you're on this show, and you're giving us some great history, which some people will clip to death, right? Now, has the meta-neter been deciphered? Before we start getting into, I'm just trying to get this out. There are people who believe that the meta-neter has not been deciphered.
People say that. What they mean is that I can't translate it. When they say that, that's what they mean. They're obviously saying I can't do it. And so because of that, and of course, as brilliant as I am, if I can't do it, that means nobody else can do it either.
Wonderful. So we've had on our platform, and we were lucky to have him, and he became our friend on this platform, is the great Dr. Walter Williams. And Dr. Walter Williams. We've had at least 4 or 5 shows with Dr. Walter Williams on him saying that the meta-nature has not been deciphered, and we've had some other groups come along the way and say the same. Have you ever spoken to Dr. Walter Williams? Huh?
Of course.
Oh, you.
Dr. Walter. Well, okay. No, I've never had direct conversation. I take that back. I have, but not about the meta-nature. Many years ago, we ran Dr. Walter Williams out of Detroit. But
You what?
We ran him out of Detroit. He was
Look at sa.neter. Look at sa.neter face. But go ahead.
Conference. And he got up in this ASCAT conference. Now he's in Detroit. People in Detroit are well read. He got up at the ASCAT conference and wanted to say that the people in Khepri was not black and all type of crazy shit. And we ran him out of there. The same thing happened to Rkhty. He came to Detroit and we ran him up out of there because he was talking that nonsense, and we got him out of there. If you notice, they have never had an organization in Detroit because those of us who were studying Kemet, every time he came, he was so attacked until it's like, oh, okay, that's not going to work here, buddy.
Okay, intellectually tact. When you mean that, because we don't like. I listen. Before I go on, I also want to talk about. I want to mention Infadishi Jehudi Mas as one of the meta-nature teachers that we have. So that was just an oversight of mine. So the people that we know is Dr. Rkhty, Dr. Obenga, Infadishi Jehudi Mas, Dr. Mario Beatty, Dr. Cambone, Obadeli Cambone, and who we have before us, Papa Bonotchi.
And the brother Ujawu, he does his good work also.
Okay, Ujawu.
Yes.
Okay. But he's not. But in the caliber and the time frame that he's another generation. He's Next generation. Right. Okay, so I was talking about who before the torches passed. Of course, if I want to mention Ujawu, I have to mention your school, the school that you work with, and students like Jedamak.
Yes, he's a youngster who is really doing outstanding work. And I have a problem because I tend to call everybody a youngster because to me, everybody is a youngster. And I come to find out I'm calling people youngsters who are 60, who is 60 and 65 years old. So I have to kind of watch that.
Mm-hmm. And then there's, of course, I have to mention who we're familiar with again, Smash Rockwell and Sean Ka, right? And
I'm not familiar with them. I have heard the name Smash Rockwell, but I've never met.
Okay, well maybe we'll have you on his show too. Okay, so I'm just coursing some time periods. We were talking about Dr. Rkhty's teachings, and how can I say this is the opportunity to say what her specialty is and what her range is with the meta-nature. You have it in your head, but the audience does not know what. And the other significance of course, is that she has a PhD, and that her work is accepted academically, right? And that she has great contributions in the not just dealing with academia, but within the community, because she chose to teach the community, right?
Rkhty has been the main scholar to teach non or Africans who don't have a degree, brothers and sisters in the hood, so to speak. She has been the #1 instructor in that area.
Okay, and that is a major contribution. And so, and her range of training in meta-nature, how could you just summarize it for us? What?
Let's see. I mean, okay. she says that she likes to specialize in the when the language was changing and being influenced by the Greeks. And at that point, you get a whole different grammar that's being introduced. And I'm not that proficient in that area, myself. But she is. She's. But that's why she is the master.
So she does. Some people specialize in Middle Egyptian. She does Old Egyptian, right. Middle Egyptian. She does the New Kingdom,
right?
And she does the late period,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And what about the Coptic period? Which are you including?
She knows Coptic, also.
Okay.
I took some Coptic classes from her.
Okay, so she gives you the full range. And have you ever met any other scholar that, besides Obenga, that does the whole range like that?
Well, no. That takes a lot of work, and it takes a long time to get that proficient in all of the aspects of the language according to its various time periods.
Okay, I want to stop and I want to ask sa.neter. sa.neter, do you have any questions? Since you heard some stuff, I've seen your face, and do you have any anything that you want to ask him, since he ran Dr. Walker Williams and I saw on set out of Detroit? Is there something that you want to say?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the ancestor, Dr. Walter Williams.
No.
He rest in peace. I'll just I'll ask him, is it true that Kemet, how do I ask this? Kemet. I'm talking about in the reference of being black.
Yes.
And in the reference of being black. Some people say Kemet don't mean black. Kemet is not black.
What I like to tell people is this, right? You're giving people, I will be giving you an opinion, right? We have to learn to like accept it, like people have opinions. Now, your problem is no matter what my opinion is, you have to be able to know for yourself. Otherwise we're just repeating what folks say, right? So, of course, I think that the name Kemet does relate to the people and the land, because first off, it's kind of difficult to separate the two. In that way, but like I said, that I'm just offering an opinion, and people need to study so that they can have a better appreciation for what's being said.
Okay, so Kemet refers to the people and the land in your work.
Yes.
Right. And is this an informed opinion? Is this if I ask you to demonstrate why, could you give us a quick demonstration why?
Everybody knows the way.
No, we argue all up and down.
I'm not here to argue that point, because it's not, to me, it's it's sort of a silly argument. Mm-hmm. In the way that I view it, right? Because you're going to have a discussion, and the only people that's going to be able to understand is the people who have some understanding of the language. So if you don't have understanding of the language, you're just listening to folks, and then you say, I believe this, or I believe him, I believe that. And we got too much of that going on. So they're like, it's like, if you want to know what Kemet means, study the damn language. Then we can have a conversation.
Okay. Well, we have different study. Some people might read a book and then they say, well, I studied it. And so we have that. But let me just move on to help people understand the way that you think. But first I have to ask, for this beginning of this conversation, sa.neter, did you get any donations, any cash apps? And then I have to ask Baba Bonotchi. No, I'm not asking for any cash apps for this show, but because I have to do my job. But sa.neter, did anybody where in the did you receive anything from anybody, or maybe just people
No,
just tuned in? Okay,
no.
so people, please donate to the show to Brother sa.neter, because what he's doing is allowing me to introduce you to somebody that you really should know, right? Who's a very important scholar in our community. And Baba Bonotchi, have you received anything?
No, but
Okay.
I definitely would encourage people to give to the website, because having websites like this enable us to have a voice. And one of the problems we have is that we don't own any media,
Mhm.
and without that, you don't have a voice. So yes, support this this station, because
Okay.
it's vital.
So who's going to be the first and not the last to send a donation to sa.neter, and the first and not the last to send a donation to Baba Bonacci, right? And
Uh,
I'll move on, and I'll just check back, because
it-
Black people information is always free. That's
let,
what they think. It's always
let me add,
devalued, but we will buy Starbucks all day, McDonald's all day, right? We would just waste money on drinks, right? But when you actually have someone that you'll later be able to ask a few questions to, right? Uh, Please support them, right?
let me say also, when I get off here, because I know if I start messing around, I will get kicked off or something happen. But when I get off here, I'm going to send you some cash also, because I appreciate the work you're doing, and hey, I believe in supporting us, so I'm going to send you something by Cash App myself.
So Amir McCarthy made himself known, and he always contributes, and we want to say thank you. But who's next on that? Okay, so let's get into your work. So
Imagine,
we could do it this way. I could let's see, I do have,
can I share a screen?
yeah, a sa.neter. Yeah. You know how to share?
No. Show me where it's at.
Okay, on the bottom of the screen, there's a little box. So you pull up what you want to share first on your screen. And on
Okay.
the bottom, there's a little box with a plus sign. You click that.
Yeah, I did. Now.
And then you go to what you want to share. You go to it says Windows. When you click it, it says tabs or windows. So you search the tab or window to find out what you want to share.
Tab Windows. Okay, when I hit this plus button, it
Thank you, Adrian Humphreys.
says share screen, right?
Yes. And then it will tell you.
Then on that screen it says screen sharing is easiest with two monitors.
Okay. Which do you want to share? The priest of Kemet, thousands of years before Charles Darwin. Do you want to show that one?
I want to show a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. So then you don't have two monitors, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So put that presentation on another monitor, right? On a separate monitor, and then go back to share screen and look for it.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
So we are going to have to work with Jed and Mark and some other people to make sure that you do this on the fly, so you don't have any more problems.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Brother sa.neter, do you see the screen?
It's moot. It says Sabet, moot Rkhty Amen.
Okay, so let's go through that.
Okay. Well, we've already dealt with these slides. These are my instructors, Dr. Ben, it's Rkhty, and Obenga. This is my latest book. It's called The Ambiguous Nature of Words. And what I found is that, like, in studying the meta-nature text in comparison to other languages, especially to English, what I saw was this. In meta-nature, you have each word each concept, each idea has a reference point in nature. And that's because their language, they use images of nature as a script. And what I found out was that.
Hey, excuse me for a minute. Hey, Reggie, tell them to view it, the whole thing. Tell them how to view it.
Oh, view.
Put it on the screen because we can see the slides on the side.
Okay, I got you. I think, hold up, I think I can solve that like this. Is that better?
Yes, you got it.
Okay. So what I found out was that we really didn't have a good understanding of how words functions and what words actually were. So words are the graphic and phonetic symbols used to express ideas and concepts of nature. Our word users have become so ambiguous until we no longer use terms that have their foundation in nature. That's one reason the concept of spirituality has become so appealing unto us, because we've gotten so used to this European abstract word uses without understanding the origin of it. Slavery was such an evil practice until there was no way that the Europeans could write their history honestly. They had to invent euphemisms and different things to not actually portray how evil slavery was, because if they did that, they would portray how evil they are. So they started using all type of abstract languages or abstract words so that they didn't actually use words to describe what they were doing. Over time, this has become compounded, and it's become a way that Americans and Westerners, period, use words. So I'm trying to think of appropriate examples, for instance, in terms of the in terms of the Black movement of the 60s, right? They call that the civil rights movement, when actually the movement of the 60s that all of the youth, and I was one of them youth, really engaged in was Black nationalism and Black power, so that white people don't want you to use the term Black power because look, the concept of Black power and the youth of the 60s shouting that scared white people to no end, scared the shit out of them, so that they will not talk about in the media Malcolm X or any concepts of Black power. They have turned the whole 60s as the civil rights movement. Well, that puts an idea in your brain of the 60s that was inaccurate.
You have another term, active shooter and gun violence.
Oh, active shooter. How the hell do you not have an active shooter? To be shooting is to be active. Then they use the term gun violence. I have a gun in my house and have had a gun in my house for ever since I got out of the service. I was a Marine, so I was used to guns, light guns. That gun hasn't performed any type of violence.
Right.
But talking about it as gun violence enables you to avoid the fact that what people are doing, this is a European practice. Europeans came here and shot up every damn thing in sight. People, trees, animals, everything. We are imitating their behavior. But when it's defined as gun violence, then we say, okay, well, let's pass laws against guns. And I'm like, gun ain't hurt nobody.
Mm-hmm.
It's the person using the gun. A gun can't hurt you. It's the person using the gun. It's the same way. I know I'm getting a little bit off track. It's the same way with what? With Jesus. This is another one of these abstractions, right? Jesus can't hurt you. Jesus can't do a damn thing to you. It's his followers that you got to be aware of, that you got to look out for. But we get these, like I say, they give us terms to talk about and understand and discuss things that don't help to solve anything. They make the problem worse because they make the person think that they're actually using language that's going to have some type of effect. But we can see that gun violence, I mean, the whole concept of gun violence, they haven't done a damn thing about it.
Okay, so you have sa.neter. So you're talking about this, and you have sa.neter on your screen, and then you use sa.neter words, ESFED, which is lying America's social disease of evil. So can you just walk us through really quickly some examples and how it applies to how it applies to Nile Valley, and so like a question that a question. Well, you could start, but a question that I have. Well, we have the word kemet, and then we have these words like Kemetic, right? Is that ambiguous to you?
Okay, not really. I can understand what the person means because that Kemetic just means of Kemet, something associated with Kemet. Kemet is a real concept, a real land that you can find on a map. Mm-hmm. So it's not that's not a.
But what about people who've never really studied the language and they are doing what they call reconstructive or innovative culture, right?
I don't know what that is. Huh? Innovative culture. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're doing ceremonies that they say.
Oh, well, I mean, they are practicing concepts that they have learned to believe in.
Oh,
that's it, But like I say, that don't make them appropriate or accurate. But they're doing things that they have been taught. So all of us have been. We have been too. That has been an easy way to function, and that is, anytime that you deal with something, it has a ground level. It has, in terms of truth, right? Truths have to have some type of reference to judge truth from. So most of us are not willing to do the work to develop any type of skills to be able to understand anything at a foundational level. Some of the worst things I've seen is when people try to take European so-called scientific concepts and then they say, well, this is how they function in Africa. Most of the time, they don't know either system. But,
Okay, well, we have a great...
I like to ask people, because people have this concept that we have been introduced to by our slave masters called God. Mm-hmm. So I like to ask people, what is God?
Oh, God is the nature, the natural, the nature.
Well, that's said by someone, once again, who don't understand either system. Because if you understand Christianity and these Abrahamic its religions, definition and the way that they God functions, then you can see that that the Neteru do not function in that way.
Okay. On the in the chat is Smash Rockwell. I don't know what he's doing there, but if he can hang on, he can introduce himself. It's someone that we would like you to meet. Baba Bonotchi is Smash Rockwell. So you can. He's been doing the work in California. He runs a whole channel on teaching the sa.neter. So certainly. So let's get through. Okay, so can you have a reality existence without a God or a creator? I don't. And what is God? Okay.
You want to answer that? Does anyone in the audience or in the chat have?
Well, I say that God is just a man-made concept, and so is the devil. It's all man-made and was created by man. God didn't create man. Man created God. And the only one that gives it power is man who believes It's their belief that gives that God the power.
That's why I tell
Other
people,
than that, it
Jesus,
don't have no power at all.
that's right. Jesus can't hurt you. It's his followers that you have to look
There you
out
go.
for. You have to.
We learned that yesterday. We definitely learned that yesterday when sa.neter asked some Hebrew Israelite and Christians, do they would they do what God, if God told them to do something, would they do it? If they would practice genocide, and we found out
That's a good one.
they smashed Rockwell. Baba Bonotchi, that smashed Rockwell, just entered the building, right? Extraordinary young man who calls himself the Magi Archer, right? And he focused on Nile Valley and Nubia, and so
Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Okay.
So great.
I'll just come in to listen. I'll chime in after you guys are finished. Thanks for letting me in, sa.neter. Peace to you guys.
Right. So so the question on the board is, can you have a reality existence without a God or creator? Sa.neter says that it's man-made. So obviously from his point of view, we can have
That is God. How about the other one?
a creator. Oh.
A lot of our people who are have dropped the word God, they switch over to this other word, a creator.
So you deal with this in your you deal with these kind of things in your book.
Yes.
Go on. Explain to some of the other things that's in your book. These questions that we sometimes we have answers, but they're in like chats. You've written about some of these things, and so whether people agree or not, it's always good to see written. So
one thing I'm going to show in the Nile Valley, they have a concept of how existence comes into being that does not rely on a God or a so-called a creator. Neither one. So that's why I was asking.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Baba Bonotchi.
Okay.
I just don't believe that the ancient Egyptians have a concept that does not rely on God or a creator. I don't believe you. You have to show that.
Okay. Well, how about let me deal with a little bit more of this, and then I will switch to another screen where I will illustrate that. Okay. Now, a concept I introduced is Isfet, and that's because the society in which we live in is based on Isfet. I mean, lies. Come on now. Nobody can say that this culture is not based on lies. Every day on the news, we get examples of how much they lie. Then, if you look at history, we can see how much they lie. So my point is, why isn't the habit of white people just lying about every goddamn thing? Why isn't it a part of our understanding? When we talk about them on the news and everything, it's no black correspondent makes the point that, damn, these people lie all the time, all the time. They lie about everything. So we have a bunch of people on the news because they're scared of losing their jobs, so that they can't say or express emotional realness about our situation. Okay, what this slide here is, I'm saying, is that, like in the book, I take the reader into a deep dive into how the connection between word uses, its behavior, and emotions define truth. We will explore the emotional and cognitive aspect of word uses. Now, in this society, emotions is almost ignored. Emotions is thought to be an interference to intellect. But all word uses, all words carry an emotional component. And you don't do anything unemotionally. Anytime I have been accused several times of being unemotional, I like to tell people that's impossible. no one is unemotional. In this society, they tell you that emotions gets in the way of intellect. And that's not true. Emotions fuel everything that you do. There's not anything that you do that does not have an emotional component. So when they're trying to teach you word uses and to deny the emotional components of words, they're trying to trick you so that you don't have an emotional response to the words they use to oppress you. So in this book, I take you into a lot of different situations where to show you how they use words to fool us. We explore how words function as tools to establish its reality and experience truth. In this regard, I show how the African worldview, the African-centered worldview, understand word uses as a human expression that describes and influences human relationships and nature in general. Thus, Mother Nature, our environment of shared experiences. Now, this is important. We need a new definition for nature, because they have taught us that nature is something that exists outside of us. I like to use the concept mother because in relationship to nature, because that precisely describes our relationship with her. Nature is mother. I mean, nature is the foundation for everything. Now, what is nature? Nature is our environment of shared experiences and existence. That's the best definition I've ever come up with to explain nature. And I'm not sure if I invented that concept or it's something I read someplace. Sometimes it gets to be hard to tell, which one. So nature, Mother Nature, our environment of shared existence, and human beings become the template and standard to communicate reality and establish truth. From an African worldview, truth is based on behaviors and nature. Whereas in the European worldview, word usage expresses itself. Word usage expresses the belief that are conceived in one's mind and heart, and may or may not express a fact-based, shareable reality. Words are used to emote and express one's feelings and belief upon nature. The result is twofold. A person's belief and feelings are the focus of their communications, not trying to understand the nature of our shareable is reality, but a truth where their feelings and belief are validated. Lying and obfuscation, using words to support the fantasies in one's head, become a standard form of communication. I want to ask you to pay attention to some of the ways that you have a conversation with someone and the things that they talk about, and you'll find that people are not into trying to understand the world around them. They're just trying to get their feelings and emotions validated. So that's why people shout, holler, cuss, and do all types of things, because they haven't been taught how to have a conversation based on logic. So their conversations is based on the nonsense that this system has put into their heads. Now, what was that?
That's a bomb. You made a point.
Okay.
It's blown up.
So now I wanna go and show you. I'm gonna stop sharing and share my other screen. Let's see if I can get this done. Right. Did I log off?
No, you're here.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting straight now.
Yeah, you stopped sharing the screen though.
Yeah, right. I'm switching.
Now I do have another question for you.
Okay.
And this question might be good for you, Dr. Reggie. It's either going to make you keep going on with this debate versus our brother, or it's going to make you tap out. Here's the question. Some people say that the neters, the Asar, Aset, Haru, Tahuti, that these are real, literal characters. What do you say?
Well,
Hold up, let him talk. Let him talk.
Your
Can I deal with
your
this?
Mayweather says that
Hold on, brother. Let him. I'm asking the brother.
your Mayweather says that
Reggie, I'm asking the brother, Reggie.
oh no, oh, you're asking him. You're trying to
Yes.
cheat.
Yes.
Okay, so ask him the the question correctly.
He just asked it.
Right.
No, no, he misstated something. No,
Let him answer without interfering, Reggie.
He just asked the question. I got his point. Basically, you're asking what is a nature? A nature is a principle, an unseen or seen principle that people use to understand and engage the world. Let me give you an example, right? And this is why you can't think of them as being as real characters.
Literal.
I'm not
No,
saying
no,
that
we
they're
didn't
not
get to that.
real. I said real characters. So I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm saying
That's right.
they're not characters, right?
Yeah.
This is an example. History is a nature. Because remember what a nature is. A nature is a principle that is used to explain, but also that humans use to engage the world around them. So how everybody use is history. When you get a job, they ask for your history. When you go to a doctor, they want your medical history. When you wake up in the morning, is your present action is basically based on what you did the day and the days ahead of that. So history is a nature because it's an idea and principle that people use to engage the world with. Now, would you you don't have to pray to history. You don't have to chant to history because it operates. It's a universal functioning concept, whether you engage in it or not. Another example, we know water as what? H2O. That's the chemical, that's the unseen chemical expression of water. You don't pray to H2O because you go out and get a drink of water. When you get thirsty, you don't have to do no praying or chanting to H2O because it wouldn't make any sense. So the problem that we have is that like we have come to understand these concepts as from a Westerner standpoint, and that is based on the abstraction that we have of God, Jesus, and all this stuff. We take abstractions and make them real in our minds when we use them, but they're not actually real in nature. So so to speak, in terms of you having control over them to engage them. Because how could you? I heard an African Center scholar say, and this is an example. African Center scholars say that like you can communicate with your ancestors by tapping into your DNA. That's the biggest BS I've ever heard. First off, your DNA is part of your physical makeup. So how could you not be tapped into it? It's part of it. It makes up your physical body. So tapping into something, these are concepts that sound deep, but when you examine them, they don't make no goddamn sense whatsoever. If you want to tap into the ancestors, read a book, learn an African language. But tap into your DNA first off, like I say, your DNA is never not tapped into. It cannot be. But these are just the ways that they have taught us to look at things that just doesn't make any sense. But we talk to each other as if they do make sense. That's the problem.
Okay, so there's another part of this. Okay, so there's a slogan out here. The netters are real, they're not actual, and they're not literal.
Well, how could something be, look at the terms you use. How could something be real and not literal?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying there's a slogan
I'm
out
asking,
here.
whoever said, I'm saying that like, you can't have, those are contradictory terms. It can't be literal and not be real. Am I correct? Does somebody disagree with
No,
that?
I agree. I agree 100%. It's just that we have a community out here that believes that these slogans make sense and they sound deep, and I disagree with that. I think the netters are real. The netters are actual for the people.
They're actual principles.
Yes, they're act. But see, that's a
because if you say actual, people gonna be running around here, is looking for.
You're correct.
Haru in the street, looking for Haru, in the sky, because you say, "Oh, he's real." Well, it's not. That's not the point.
Yeah, but that's the point. So
let me say this. I think it's confusing when we say that the netters are real, but they are not literal. Now, what I mean by that is, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. What I mean by that is, I have a saw in my house. I have Tahuti in my house. These are real busts that I have. So if somebody say, "Yo, saw, I heard you had a real bust in your house with a saw," I say, "Yeah, I do got a real bust, but it's not literal. But I do have a real bust." You get where I'm going at? So yes, I do have a real bust of a saw, but it's not literal. That's what I mean by you can have a real one, but they are not literal. Meaning, the problem. They are not living.
Wait 1 second. So you always try to win a debate. I was talking about generally what Baba Bonotchi's work is, but you are trying to get sound bites again to win a debate for Jabari.
No, sir.
Why you say that,
brother? Out of here. So I want to be able to ask him these
questions. You're not neutral.
Say that.
Oh man, Reggie, I didn't know I couldn't ask him that, brother.
No, you did, and he's going to answer, but you're not neutral.
Well, no, but I don't know that. It doesn't make a difference. He asked me a question, right? I can only answer a question from the standpoint that I can understand and see.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying what he's doing.
So your history and his background with that does not affect me, and it really shouldn't be brought up now because he asked an honest question, and you kind of guided him for asking a question. And it's like, regardless of why he asked the question, the motivation for asking it is really not that important.
Okay, answer the question.
For you, because you have some history with him.
Answer the question.
But not
Baba, answer the question. We don't have to go further.
I did. I already answered it.
Okay, answer it again. Say it again.
Nature are real principles and concepts.
There you go.
That humans use to understand and engage in the world by. The concept of mother, Mut, right? Mut is a nature. Everybody got a mama. Unless you come from some very unusual circumstances. Mut is a universal principle that exists because you couldn't say mothers don't exist. So the concept, the principle is as they would see in Kemet, it's a living concept.
Okay, the literal part.
Well, I don't get into literal. I don't even know what you mean by that.
First
off, if something exists, it's literal. You can't have, it's like, come on now. We try to use tricky language to discern and describe something that is not accurate. So to use the terms like literal and things like that, that's unnecessary. Because anytime something exists, it's literal. Otherwise, how the hell does it exist? Look like his brother Smash was about to say something.
Oh, well, you're saying everything that I've been saying, so I'm so happy I get to make your acquaintance. Reggie was telling me I needed to talk to you at other points in time. I'm just happy to be here, and hearing you say these things has a smile on my face. Seemed like something I was saying to my good brother the other day on a show I had about the Neteru. So I'm just glad to be here.
Nice watch, Smash. I like that watch, brother.
Appreciate that.
I like that joy.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a boss. Smash is a boss.
Let me introduce the Floyd Mayweather just entered into the room. We call him Jabari Osaze. You know, he's in the building. Peace and blessings, brother Jabari. What up, man?
Peace. I know you call me the Floyd Mayweather, but I call the elder here Saba. I know that you don't know this, but that's my teacher. I'm in his class.
I was just about to say that. Doing excellent work in the class.
Dwa.
Really, I'm really enjoying having him as a student.
And I have just been watching him for many years and have never been able to get into his class just because of timing. And I had to cancel one of my classes to be in this elders class because he is the person I really wanted to study with. I've been mostly self-trained prior, and the manner in which he brings the glyphs alive in a way that you can translate in a much more comprehensive fashion, even in a faster way, I think is absolutely amazing. And it's just a testimony to his legacy in the tradition. When you sit with someone who has studied with Theophile Obenga and Rkhty Amen, you know that you are learning from royalty. So I just wanted to pop in, not here to debate or do any of that stuff. I just want to pop in and say that I admire this elder. He is incredible. And for those of you who have not taken his class, take it. For those of you who do not have his books, buy them. And one of the things that we have to do is we have to remember that our elders need support to do the great work they're doing. He could be off selling out and doing all kinds of stuff that we see so many of our people doing online and making lots of money. But instead, he decided that he was going to do something that would assist our people in developing their knowledge and their character. And so please make sure I sent him. Listen, I paid for the class and I sent him a donation. Y'all ain't paying for no class. You getting free education tonight. You had better send him a donation.
Okay. Wow. So the elder just said the slogan, something being real, right, and not literal, makes no sense, right? So that's your slogan. The netters are real.
Hold up. I hate to step in, but you have me on to speak, right? Well, just let me handle, okay?
Womp.
Yeah, womp. That's just speaking.
Come on, man. Come on. We don't have to,
Yeah, it's come on, Rez.
The last thing I want to do is to take anything away from the elder that is here.
I brought him on to talk.
And I respect that you
and if you wasn't here or anything, we could continue our general conversation.
He's a student.
Wow.
I encourage my students to check out my lectures because you get information that I can't give everything in the class. So I'm matter of fact, yesterday at the class, I told them that I would be given a lecture or I would be interviewed and that they should come. So he's here because of my invite. So it wouldn't be proper to,
No, I understand that, Papa Bonotchi. I understand that, but but it became an open panel. I don't control that. But anyway,
but Reggie, you can talk. I'll put them on ice. I'll let you continue the interview.
He's talking now, so he's talking to an audience, and he encourages his students. So, Baba, continue. But we did want to make sure that people know to why they should purchase your book, and to demonstrate Khepri without a creator, without a God. But you can continue on this note until you decide.
Screen.
So,
you see?
I'm not moderating.
Can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yeah.
Fukuyama is on it. Okay, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Okay, right, and then let me do the presentation format because it's a lot of information, and we would be here until next week. Okay, so Okay, now this is from Obenga's book, African Philosophy, and this is from page 33. But he goes into this. There is no independent creator. You see that? No independent creator. No demiurge. The demiurge is a helper, standing over and apart from creation. Born mythology. It may be asserted. Ideas emerge, endowed with power from raw matter. So what he was saying here is that, like in Kemet, they have an understanding of how things come into being that's not based on any creator. Well, then how do they express it? They express it as the concept of Khepri. Khepri is one of the most fascinating Kemetic concepts. It is just, it leads to endless study. But more importantly, and why you should study this language, it gives you practical alternative methods of understanding the world. Most of the time in Western societies, we depend on concepts like spirituality is metaphysics. And what these concepts, the problem with them is that, like, the very concept of metaphysics means beyond the physical. Well, you have a problem because it's hard to understand things that doesn't have some type of representation and foundation in nature. So here, they're giving you an expression of Khepri. Khepri means to transform. This dung beetle sometimes can just represent Khepri by itself. So Khepri, as the process of transformation, Khepri represents a process of transformation. What is that process? The process is of coming from an unseen state to a seen state. No God involved. The creator not involved. It's in the concept itself. So I'm gonna show you a translation by Wallace Budge. I'm gonna point out some of the problems with Budge's translation. So he starts off with the Book of Knowing the Evolutions of Ra, which could be the Book of Knowing the Book of Knowing the Transformations of Ra, and overthrowing a pep. A pep can be viewed as opposition. Then it says the word spoken by Nebuchadnezzar. If you notice, he does not translate Nebuchadnezzar. Why? It's a very complicated concept. Now, it starts with the word neb. Neb means owner or a possessor. Then it's followed by an hour sign used as a preposition. So it means to or at. Then jer represents the limit. So this could be the one who controlled, or let's see, the one to the limit. So what is that? I think that there's a way that they represent consciousness. Because think, your limit is based on your consciousness. Everything that you know or understand is based upon your consciousness. So I think never-jur is a word that they use to express consciousness. So these words are spoken by the consciousness of all that is, the consciousness of the universe. He said, then we have the statement Jed F. And that would be, he said, then we have a preposition after him ket. That means after, then we have Khepri once again, followed by this suffix pronoun. So he spoke these words after he came into being. So Khepri, as a process, speaks these words. Now it gets a little deeper. Just hold on for a minute. He said, I am he who comes. Oh, shit. That didn't change it. Okay. I am he who comes into being in the form of Khepri. And this is something that if you don't translate the text, that people think that all forms of Khepri are the same. This form Khepri represents the archetype. All the archetype and a mother form. Why? Because all the forms of Khepri is represented in the concept of Khepri. Then they have a past tense construction, and it says, I transformed. Now, this is where we come in with the problem. Budge translates Khepri here as creator. He says, I was, or I came into being, or I transformed as the creator. This is pure BS. Khepri does not create. Khepri transforms. So it should be. Well, I'm going to show you what it should be in a minute. The creator of what came into being. The creator. He used this word twice. Of what came into being. All that came into being. After my coming into being, then he goes in. Now, let's look at this. I translate this phrase like this. Others translation. As the principle of transformation, because that's what Khepri is. Khepri is the primary principle of transformation that has all the other aspects of Khepri inherently in it. I became, I'm down here. As the principle of transformation, I transform, past tense, as the process which becomes all that is. So instead of Khepri, because look at this, Khepri is a process of transformation. So it's not a creator. So it should be I transform as the process which becomes all that is. So now check this out. Everything is a form of Khepri. When you have something that is made, you are not necessarily what you made. You know, I made all of my children, but they're not me. Khepri is literal. So we were talking about that earlier. Khepri is literal, and they're showing that all aspects of creation are transformative forms of Khepri. This is very unique and important because, once again, in Western thought, creation and whatever made it, be a God or whatever, is separate. It stands above it. It rules it. What they're showing you here is that all existence is aspects of each other. When you examine the text and the nature rule, you find that they are all aspects of each other. Okay, we're coming. Now, these are the basic forms. We have the process, Khepri. This form of, not Khepri, Khepri. This form of Khepri is intransitive verb. What does that mean? That means that the energy for this verb is not given to any other substance, not any other individual. The transformative, the transformation happens within Khepri itself. Then you come from a singular to a plural. This plural forms represent the various aspects of existence. Then it becomes even more precise when you have Khepri. Both of these forms of Khepri can be pronounced Khepri because they represent the plural form. When they add this symbol of this figure here, then now they're talking about things of nature, images of nature. So we can see that this is a process that transforms into all that is. Khepri, or the forms which constitute reality, are the results of this process. So the process evolves into this form right here. But what I'm trying to show you is that this is a very sophisticated way to let's look at the world. When we look at physics, science, its religions. First off, physics, in order to understand these things, they are made for specialists. And in Kemet, it doesn't take a specialist to understand this. This would be common knowledge that anyone could read and understand because it's not written from a scientific standpoint. It's written from understanding the symbolic principles of nature and how they function. Now, in Obenga book, he goes in and he shows you all of the different forms of Khepri, and he gives you what they mean. So in the story of how everything comes into being, one of the major concepts is the concept of Khepri. Now, it must say that in Kemet, they express all the different types of ways that existence comes into being. This is one that they use where they don't use a demiurge or a god, and they represent this as a process. In terms of God, I always like to ask people, where does he come from? He just appeared and just start, is making stuff without any reason, rationale, just start hooking stuff up. So when you study the text, I like to tell people you get a different understanding because the text allow you, or I should say, the text reveal information to you because it lets you see it for yourself. And one thing that we have a problem with in understanding the concept of nature is not understanding that these are symbols that have complementary relationships. You very seldom see one nature by himself or herself. So when we look at this is a very interesting image because the composite is that you have two feminine natures, two sisters here, and they are often seen as support of Ra. Now, this is a picture of Ra in the duat. This is Ra in a weakened form because he's in the duat. And in the duat, one of the forms of Ra is Kanun. We know this is also Ra because we got the word right here, Ra, and we got the big sun disk. So this is an image of Ra in a weakened state in the duat. What does the text say? And this is why translating the text is so important because I've seen people do deep analyzation of the symbols and just leave the text alone as if it doesn't express what's going on. So let's read this. We have Wasir Hotep in Ra. This says Ra rest as Asir or in Asir. You say it either way. Then we have over here Ra, or it is Ra who rests as Wasir. So we see that they are inverse of each other. And this is something that we have overlooked, and that is in Kemet, the duat is represented as the inverse of the so-called is real world. And this is very interesting, showing how they think. In Kemet, the duat is within the earth. But at the same time, the duat is often represented as Pet, the sky. So, but see, to us, that appears to be a contradiction, because how could you be within the earth and then have a sky also? But that's not a contradiction for them. And this is one of the problems with translating the text, is being able to step outside of our own understanding and let the text speak to you. Okay, now, something I always point out is that, and these concepts are very seldom explained or expressed. Behind important individuals and behind a nature, we have concepts like this. We have Sa, that means Sa means to protect. Then we have Ak, that means life. We have Jed, that means stability. Wise means power. We have a sa.neter, that means all health. Then we have this word Ha. And Ha means behind. And then it's followed by a third person subject pronoun, that's her. We have Ned. So this saying is all behind her. What does that mean? In Kemet, you have this concept of what's your backup? That means what do you bring? Just like the sun, his backup is good feelings, energy, because that's what he brings. They are telling you this is how these are statements showing you this is how you're supposed to approach the world. This is how you're supposed to appear in the world. You're supposed to be protected. You're supposed to promote life. You're supposed to be stable. You're supposed to have power. And you're supposed to have all health. Is all behind her. Now, when it's a male, of course, they change this third person pronoun S to F, and that would be behind him. And there are various other expressions of this concept that is, that you have to check out for yourself. Okay. Now, in Kemet, we have emotions are used as a a motivation force for things to come about and to happen. So we have the concept of Rkhty. Rkhty is one of the most fascinating concepts in Kemet. It means, it's always used to mean something good and special. So we find that one of the motivations for Khepri is Rkhty. Another motivation for Khepri to come into being, and Rkhty, Ak, can also mean spirit. Ak means to be. This is all of the various uses of this word. It could be spirit. It could be to come into being as a spirit. It could be glorious, splendid, that which is helpful, useful, beneficial, what is good, profitable, useful. So what they have here is that, they show this concept of Ak as a principle of the universe. So that means that goodness is an aspect of the universe. They don't have anything like that in Western society. Also, these are other motivating factors for Khepri. Understanding, mind, intelligence, will, and desire. All of these are emotions, but they're showing you that the emotions is a foundation of the universe. Also, another concept that they used was myrrh. Myrrh means love, wish, want, or desire. Then they have Ma'at, truth, righteousness, balance, order, and reciprocity. Now, Ma'at is very interesting because a lot of people are trying to understand and use Ma'at without understanding one vital thing. Ma'at and Isfet cannot coexist. When the people of Kemet found themselves in the type of situation that we are in today, where they are surrounded by Isfet, they stage wars. Because war is one of the major ways to establish Ma'at. War and bloodshed. And see, we don't even want to think like that anymore. We haven't thought in a violent manner against the society since the 60s. Anytime we talk about any type of liberation now, it's always intellectual. And unfortunately, I grew up in a time in the 60s where Black nationalism was a vital component of every Black community in this country. So why has Black power lost its power? Because our people have no historical memory. So with no historical memory, they don't know what they did in the past, and we don't know what we're doing today. Okay. So these are the foundation principles that cause Ma'at to come into being. So what they're showing you is that in Kemet, emotions was a vital component of how they understood, conceptualized, and expressed the world. Okay. Can I take a small break now? Can I take a break? I need to get something.
Yes, you can. Yes, of course.
sa.neter, can you please ask Smash? He's been waiting patiently. He has some questions, and so we can all benefit from this.
Brother, why don't you ask him? Go ahead, ask him.
I'll wait till Bob get back. I like what we're learning here. I do have some things I want to ask to see.
Right.
How I asked both of you brothers here, how do you understand the term besides thanks? How do you understand the term dua as like dua ra, dua neter?
Who you want to ask? Myself and who else?
Anyone who wants to answer.
Okay.
It's not like a trick question or nothing. I'm just trying to see how do we understand these things. I can say how I understand it first, if it seems like a trick question. We know dua to mean thanks, but we often see peace, Baba. And the question I asked the brothers is, how do they understand the term dua, if not saying thanks, like dua ra or dua neter? I was trying to see how we appropriate this term.
appreciation. You know, I like to. It seems as if it's used to represent appreciation for something.
Thanks. And so it's often put as praise. I noticed you didn't say that. How about Reggie or Brother Jabbar?
It's normally translated by Western scholars as praise. I think that the elder gives a more accurate understanding of what the Africans might have thought. Was they worshiping? Does it mean that they're worshiping? No, doesn't mean that they're worshiping, but they're trying to learn from the text. So once the text is written by the scribes of the sessions of the king, that is their education. So Dua Ra, when Ra rises, praise, appreciate Ra when he rises in the east. That's a literal concept to take notice, right? What the word aptat. Take notice that we expect Ra, we appreciate Ra rising in the east, from the east. That's the end of what I want to say.
I always thought that the dual meaning of dua was helpful, and when I think of dua, I think obviously I think of thanks, but I also think of praise because I am always reminded of those magnificent symbols in a pet Isut or Karnak temple, where you see the Rkhty bird, the bird that represents the people giving dua, and you can see the bird itself is giving praise in the manner in which it's been depicted with human hands. And so that's what I think of when I think of dua.
The problem is this: what does praise mean? When you praise something, what does that mean?
That's a good question.
I'd be remiss if I spoke before the elder did. I was about to say something. I said, let the elder speak.
And there's a problem with these Christian terms, right? We don't really know what they mean. We have adapted them, but like I say, I like to ask people when they use these phrases, I like to ask them, what do they mean? Because of course, I'm familiar with the word, praise. I don't have the slightest idea what it means, and because of that, I can't say that what we call praise was something that they did in Khepri, because that's a translation. You know that translations are not always accurate or correct. So the simplest thing I've seen it that doesn't give it undue understanding, so to speak, is to just say it's used for appreciation. Now, of course, when we examine how the word function in Kemet, we might get more of a broader and deeper understanding. But the problem is when we use these phrases, then they hinder a deeper understanding because you get stuck there, And we know that words like worship and phrase are very problematic because it's not, is it actual representation of what the word meant and of what the people were doing?
That's thanks for that answer. Anybody gonna add to that? That's all I was trying to ask you.
Oh no, it's simple. When you look at it like that from somebody who studies the text, right? He's taking the religiousness out of it. He's taking spirituality out of it. He's taking energy out of it. He's saying that the people are instructed to appreciate Ra, the nature, as he rises in the east, as an example, right? So somebody in the chat saying he's just the Baba Bonotchi is disagreeing with me, but what it is when I learn something, I put away what I thought just to learn, and I don't think that what I'm saying disagrees at all with the elder, because nothing that he has said did he talk about spiritual, except for to give an illustration, energies, right? None of that stuff where he's talking is real and literal examples.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Now, I have pretty much threw the word spiritual out of my vocabulary because it's full of so much baggage, right? I like to say unseen because that's what it is. You have the seen and unseen. When you say spiritual, you're giving it a meaning that doesn't fit, because we use spiritual as meaning above and better. We don't use spiritual, in a normal way. When we say something spiritual, it's like, woo, that's deep. And it's like that, well, come on now. So I don't like to use the term because it's full of so much baggage. Whereas when you say the unseen, everybody can understand that. You can't see it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but you can't see it. Reality is full of seen and unseen aspects. The problem is that we want to focus on the unseen without understanding the value of work. And work involves what you do, not what you believe. Work involves what you can do with your hands and your feet. Spirituality can be what you think, and too often, that's where it should stay. The power in the world is what you do. That's it. That's the power in the world is what you do. And that should be obvious. Look at Kemet. Look at what they did. As a matter of fact, I wish I could show you. There's a statement in Kemet. It's called it's called Neb Iriket. Neb Iriket means the one who does shit, or the one who does things. But of course you have to add that emphasis there because it's important. Well, they're not talking about what you do spiritually. Look at all the things that they built. Look at their material culture. And you see that, to them doing things was building stuff. Obenga says that Ma enabled them to work as a unit so that they could get stuff done in a more productive manner. So once again, the point there is done and do. These are things, these are actions that you perform with your hands and your feet. That's so important.
You have another question, Smash.
I don't got another question. But you want me? Well, see, Reggie doing me like this, Bob, because he wants you to fry me. Because I have been one of the ones. I've been one of the ones making what we call a mistake, and I've got scolded by a few of my elders of saying, "Hold on, now, it's not that far away from the term gods as we say." And so I got a few of these things, like if we go to the Battle of Kadesh, if we just limit the Netrus to being elements, we visit the story about Ramses in the Battle of Kadesh when the Amun tribe left him and he by himself, and he had to pray to Amun that he would prevail over the Hittites. And just in I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of like, you can't say that's an element right there.
No, hold up. Oh yes, yes, you can. I'm translating a piece right now. Whereas, as a matter of fact, in class, and I'm showing them that it says, "I came and I caused you to do." This is Amun speaking, but it's still a principle. We get hung up on wanting to make something really other than what it was, as if when we change it, we make it more functional, and we don't. A principle is real. So it's they are definitely not gods, but it becomes easy to see that or to think that way. One is because we have been trained to have a favorable opinion about certain concepts and ideas. And so what I like to tell people is, well, let's just try to drop most of these concepts and ideas that we have, because that way the nature can speak to you in a more original voice. Sometimes our preconceived ideas and notions hide the true meanings because we fall in love with our ideas and beliefs about things, and you want to validate them. So people come up with rationale. Anything that you choose to believe, your brain and emotions will provide the rationale and the emotional content to support that. But the key is that anything you choose to believe. So I tell people, I'm like this. I believe very little. Why? Because I don't have to. Things will, sometimes your beliefs get in your way. One thing, as when I started studying this language, I was very, I had read a whole bunch of shit. I mean, I was one of the most well-read individuals around because Dr. Ben had a reading list that I read all of his references and all the books he said that we should read. So I had a lot of preconceived ideas and concepts when I started studying this language. What I had to teach myself how to do was to dismiss almost everything I thought I knew and just become more open to seeing the text for themselves and learning the text without using certain European ideas and terms to describe them. Now, let me show you this. This is still up because I grew into this. You know, it's not. I didn't start off. You know, I grew into this. I had an experience where I gave a book I was reading to Obenga, and he like almost cussed me out.
Churchward. Albert Churchward?
Right, Albert Churchward, Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man. And he said, Bonotchi, only you Westerners read this type of stuff. I was like, whoa, what you talking about, man? You know? But he was showing me that, like, okay, he talks a lot of shit, but can you verify anything he says? Have you checked him out in the language? Well, I have. He was saying, okay, well, until you can do that, don't just accept what he says.
The stove.
Okay, it's not here.
Somebody has their mic open. Oh, it was our brother Unc. Peace, Unc. How you doing?
Man, I'd like to say hi to the esteemed gentlemen first, Brother Smash Rock Wells, Brother Jabari, sa.neter, and of course you, and then one of my favorite elders, Banshee. Like, he's serious guy, man. I just want to let you know I appreciate the conversations, the lively debates we had, and you know, personal conversations. I appreciate your wisdom and your knowledge, man, and keep kicking it just like you kicking it, man. And I would also like to go back to an interview I had on Blog Talk Radio maybe 15 years ago with Rkhty, and we talked about the word Netaru and how she felt like it didn't equate with God's. And, you know, people kind of got on my head for that. But I appreciate you coming through with that wisdom. And you always telling me, hey, why don't you just go ahead and learn the daggone meta-nature? And you were serious about that. And I appreciate you.
Do it. I appreciate y'all.
So, you like the elder? You like the elder Banshee? You like his work?
Serious dude.
Yeah, his work is serious, right?
Serious dude.
Anything you disagree with about his work?
Nah, nope.
Oh, he agreed with Jabari on the real.
Take the spooky out of it.
He agreed with Jabari on the Netter's real and not real and literal. He agreed with Jabari.
Yeah, but I don't got a bone to pick with Jabari.
Wait, he didn't say that. He didn't say that, son.
I said
he ain't gotta say it, but you can just hear his words.
Ask him again. He says that the netters are real, right?
No, he broke it down to what he mean by real. They are.
No.
There are forces and principles.
See that?
Yeah, but that's not saying it's not real.
Right? No, we know they're real, but they are not literal. That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. They are not living beings and living creatures.
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, you saying that they're living?
I'm saying like this. They exist within you.
Right, there you go. But I'm saying
what I said was they were not persons, entities like that.
Right, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
They're not persons.
Yeah.
They are forces and principles, energy that express how we engage and understand the world around us.
Right. There you go. So that's agreeing with Jabari. That's what I'm saying.
No, he's not agreeing with Jabari.
Why not?
Why don't you just ask him?
Why not, Reggie? Why you say he's not?
He's
right
not.
here.
He's saying,
Folks, it probably is better. Let's not get the elder in this, the Saber into this conversation.
No, he's a serious Saber. He ain't a fake Saber. He'll get into it and have a good conversation.
Listen,
I think I have said,
Yeah,
but
he'll play with it.
I don't think it's like that. Okay, it's like that we keep going back to something, trying to prove something, and I'm like, I don't get it. I've said what I said, and that's what I meant.
Jabari, why don't you ask them a question? That way you can ask it a little better.
Well, the problem is this. I think that he's been very clear, and I think to be very clear, I'm not trying to bring this Saber, this elder, my Saber, into this debate, but I do want to very clearly say that he has used all the same words I use.
no, he didn't use energy.
Yes, he
didn't
did.
use
He did use energy. Reggie.
He just said energy. He said principles, forces, energies. Those are the three words I use. By the way, I knew he was going to say that because he's my teacher.
You act like other people don't talk to him.
Listen, I'm not saying other people don't talk to him. I'm just saying I don't think you knew that I talked to him.
No,
That's
I know.
what I'm saying.
No, I know.
So, the reality is this: I think that we should not try to drag the elder into our arguments.
I said that earlier when sa.neter was doing it. It was all right then.
Hold on.
I'm confused now.
And I just think that we should recognize that someone of this stature should be beyond part of this fray. And
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the fake thing. The fake thing is that I was trying to get him on sa.neter's show for a while, but me and sa.neter was not talking. So I did a show with him on my show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those people who call themselves students and stuff like that. It's funny is you're not rushing to get him to the big platform.
I actually had spoken to sa.neter about having him on over the last 5 years.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Why you assume? Why?
So why didn't it happen?
Do we need to argue?
Yes.
Let's do this at another time. Let's not do this with the Saber.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that, but I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you directly. It was not hard to get him on sa.neter's show.
Okay, good. And you know what? I salute you for doing it. I appreciate that you've done it. I am okay with saying I appreciate that you've done it. Thank you.
Okay.
I came on here.
I tried to get him to talk.
Wait a minute. I came on here simply to say that this incredible Saber is someone that we need to continue to learn from. You got upset with me. We don't need to do that now. I just want to say that the work that he is doing, that he's still doing in our community, needs to be enjoyed, needs to be many of us should be taking his class and should be reading his books, and I just think that he's amazing. So
I got a question for y'all gentlemen. Why the emphasis on don't drag the elders in it? The reason we're in the situation we are in now because you don't drag the elders in it. I think it's kind of
I agree with you. I agree with all
your daggone elders and ask for guidance. So I'm asking you, elder, based off what you know, is it this or this? And then they give instruction. So it's kind of corny, Jabari, when you play that Saber. Nah, dog. Like, we need people like him to get into these conversations. Me and Smash argued over the black shit for like ever, when all we had to do was bring some elders in and gonna give us some instruction. Yo,
what was your question on the black stuff? What was your question?
Wait.
I don't have a question for that. I'm just making a point. It's real. Hold on, Jabari. I'm saying we always need elders.
I agree.
No, you say don't drag him in. No, drag him in here to hear what we gotta say, and then he'll make determinations. He didn't beat me up on stuff before because I dragged him into it. He be like, hold on, Unc, I don't think that's that. Nope, I ain't good. And that helped me out. That's all I'm saying, bro.
No,
listen, everybody else had the same quality.
I don't know how long you've been listening. He's already answered the question.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You saying don't drag him in. Boy, don't change it now.
Hold on, Unc, let him speak too. No, hold on.
What I'm saying is he should certainly weigh into the intellectual discourse and debate that we're having. He's already weighed in. I don't know if you've listened to the entire program.
I'm not talking about that. You always trying to fast talk.
Come on, man. You don't let nobody cut you off.
Jump in it, sa.neter. Don't jump in it. Don't jump in it.
I gotta keep it calm. I don't want you
calm. I am calm, but Jabari is doing what he does.
No, man, you cutting him off, brother. You know
what he said. Jabari know what he said just now.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
What I'm saying is that
is
there's
what?
An argument, and there's some. I'm not talking about our intellectual debate. I think that it was proper for Seba to respond to the intellectual debate. He did several times already. I don't know if you were listening to the earlier part of the program.
I listened to it, Jabari.
So okay. So listen. So he's already weighed in. I'm saying that
I wasn't talking about that, Jabari.
Hold on.
You don't like nobody to cut you off, brother.
But he know I'm not talking about that, though. See, he know I'm not talking about that.
This is show my show. So what I would ask is, it's shameful for us to be having these conversations. And Baba Bonotchi, one is we want people to buy his book.
You got a serious book.
Two. We want to make sure that we got all the information.
What's the name of the book? Can we share the link?
He has several books. It's not just one.
My bad, but I just was trying to reference the one.
No critique whatsoever. No critique.
We're waiting, Baba Bonotchi. They want to. If you can put up, share your screen. Okay. Share your screen for your book, right? And so that people can know the book that you are proud of right now, of all the things that you have written. Can you tell us how many books have you written? 5. So great.
Basically, around the same thing, and that is how we use words, and how we really don't understand how words function. Some people put too much understand, or I say, how can I put it? Some people put too much meaning into words, and other people don't put enough. So I know that's an odd thing to say, but in my book, this is it: the ambiguous nature of words. We really have to understand that we need to come up with more precise understanding. We need to come up with more precise terms to express ideas and concepts. We don't understand that, like, a lot of the arguing that we have is strictly based in the word uses. Mm-hmm. These Europeans have they argue about everything. When I took a class in anthropology, I found out that they still arguing over if these bones that they found really represent humans or not. Mm-hmm. They have the splitters and the joiners. So the splitters, they believe that, okay, these are not the same skulls from the same people. The joiners have joined them together and say, no, these skulls represent actual human beings, not only actual human beings, precisely the type of human beings that they represent. Mm-hmm. And they argue over this, so that means that they don't know. And here we come along and argue about a lot of European ideas and concepts, not knowing that the language itself induces the arguments. The language itself is based in opposition. So what does opposition bring? Arguments. So a lot of our arguments come from how we have been taught to use and understand words, because we don't really appreciate how words actually function. We got people out here who believe that you can chant a word, or no, how do they say? Speak it into existence. What revolution was ever fought based on such nonsense? You don't speak shit into existence. Your action bring shit into being. And so we have gotten so confused by these Europeans and their crazy language. So that's why, you know, a lot of times I just drop all these ideas and concepts. You don't hear me use spirituality, worship, praise, none of them, because they get in the way. They cause stupid arguments. If you study the text, it becomes clear what they mean. You don't have to argue the standpoint from using European words. You can argue or understand the concept, have discussion about it based upon what it says in the text. And that's what I try to do in my class. I try to show how that, like, we need to have our discussions around the text, not what we believe. The text, you can, you know, the text really make things plain.
I have a question for you, Elder. Did the people of Kemet identify themselves? Now, I know they didn't use the word black, but they had another word for that. But did they identify themselves as the English word that we're using now, black?
Kim,
yes.
All means black.
Thank you.
Black
Thank you.
things, people, land.
Yeah, I'm glad. Uncle agree with you. Uncle agree with your information.
No, I don't agree. I don't. You didn't even ask him the question, right? And guess what? Go ahead, Elder.
One of the best people to really show you how they use black all throughout Africa to define themselves is Obadale. He speaks several African languages. So his research is based on not him just doing research in his languages. He speaks them. So he's able to give you the colloquial use, the colloquial understanding. And it becomes plain that they identify themselves, a lot of African people identify themselves as black.
Esau, you think that's gonna save somebody? Don't you? I ain't that guy. I ain't never going, no matter who it is. 8 to 80, blind, crippled, crazy. Get that straight.
Hey, I'm glad you like the Bible.
We ask the question again. What's the real question you want to ask him?
You ask him. You ask him your question.
Oh, I've already talked to him about. We've already had great.
I asked what I wanted to ask already.
Okay. So what did he say? So what did he say? What did you ask him? Did the word Kemet mean the black people? Is that what you asked him?
You didn't hear what I asked him, brother?
Okay, I don't know what you were saying. I thought you were talking about people in the Nile Valley.
He asked it earlier.
And what was the answer?
He said yes.
You agree with that, Jabari? Did the ancient Egyptians call themselves the black people?
No, not in the word with the English word.
Nah,
the
man,
stop.
We know they wasn't speaking English. Don't flim me.
Use Kim, Khepri, and Kim. And
right, Kim. Right. That's his answer. And
so you don't think I got a problem? You don't think I can accept this answer and still say I don't agree with that?
No, you
I ain't a chicken shit like all the rest of y'all.
No, you good, right?
Okay, just making sure we know that. Right. You know I don't agree with that. He said he's gonna learn him at a lecture.
But I'm just glad you know you agree with the
I'm getting ready for war tonight. What is going on?
I'm not ready for Jabari. Don't heighten a relaxed situation. I'm not ready for war.
You agree with the Bible information.
Wow. No, just because I agree, no. It's a lot of things we've already had the discussion. He instructed me to learn him at a nutshell. We've had great conversation over that word already.
Yeah.
So you trying to fake me out is why.
I'm not.
Hold on. Don't save Jabari. Now, Jabari, you know what I was talking about, Jabari. I said the elder is not a meek, wilderly elder. He's a serious dude. So whatever we conversating about, whether it's an hour ago or right now, he can always wade in. He has proven himself to do that. At least with me, I've seen him. He engaged for real. It's not disrespectful. He's time enough. His mind is clear. He's focused, bro. So any conversation we would hold on, Jabari, any conversation we was having, what I was talking about, right? That it's not disrespecting him by asking him his opinion on it. That's what I was talking about, Jabari. That's it.
You know what? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna let you respond. But hold up. You know what?
No, why is you saving Jabari right now?
That's my prize fighter. That's my prize fighter. That's my
let that man talk for himself.
That's my prize fighter. I gotta save my prize fighter.
Man, you gonna mix it up. I'm done.
No, because when y'all keep saying,
what I want to check, because
hold on, Reggie. When y'all keep saying why you saving Jabari, I used to say I'm not doing it, but now I'm not backing off of that no more. When you say why you saving Jabari, I'm just going to tell you I'm supposed to save my prize fighter.
Okay, so the fight,
when he can't fight for himself.
When I got 20 haters, going at his neck, I'm supposed to save my prize fighter.
Ain't nobody going at his neck though.
All right, that's all.
I'm trying to hear what the elder saying.
Baba Bonotchi. Wait, first, I want to check Baba Bonotchi, right? For your time, for you listeners to quibble quabble, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not quibble quabble, brother. This is information.
No, I care about him.
I
Baba
do too.
Bonotchi, have you received any cash apps?
I'm used to having classes until 9:30. I'm cool until 10.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Wait, Baba Bonotchi, have you been receiving? Any donations?
Bings. I did have some bings. I haven't looked, but yes,
Okay.
I did get some bings.
Put that out. Put that out again.
All right. That's the first part of it. Okay, so here's the thing with me, right? I have integrity in the work that I do. If you are going to, if this is your prize fighter and you're the moderator in the show, then you're fixing a fight. So at this particular point, there is no debate. None.
Cool. We cool with that.
Guess what? It's cool. It's cool. All right, so we're cool. So we can just
we good.
No, it's fine. But just do know this, right? Okay, your prize fighter, right, is your prize fighter, but we're on this show for information, right? So I got it.
I told you this is the toughest environment. This is not for everybody to debate.
No. This is the fixed environment.
This channel here, everybody can't come on here and debate. So, I mean, put on your track shoes and run.
No, that's fine.
Run, brother. I'm good with that.
I am going to write a paper. I'm just simply going to write a paper. It's fine. But what I was trying to do is, because it's a platform debate, we do debate, but we do think it's going to be fair. It benefits you, and sometimes it benefits us, right?
Let me show you how this could be hypocritical with you and Unc, and we don't cry. If we was on Unc's channel, and Reggie was on Unc's channel, and Jabari was over there, there'd be so many people saving Unc and saving Reggie and jumping on Unc and Reggie's side. Because why? It's his channel. And it always happened on whoever run the channel, people goes and cling to them. But nobody cries and say, oh, you helping Unc, or you helping Reggie. Because y'all been, hold on, Reggie, hold on. Reggie, you had Garfield, you had Unc, you had the whole pseudo squad, the pseudo killers. All of them was helping you all against Jabari, all of y'all. But nobody stepped in and say, why are you helping Reggie? Why are you helping Unc? But the minute someone try to, mediate this with Jabari, all of a sudden I got to be helping Jabari. Well, guess what? That's my prize fighter. I got to protect him.
Okay, fine.
Hold on, Reggie. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Can I respond to what you were saying?
Shouldn't it be based in the truth, though, sa.neter? Because Jabari been on my channel. Nobody jumped him. So you should never make up a lie. You should never sit there and make up a full-blown lie like that.
Can I just respond to what you said earlier? Because I wanted to respond. And
why would you need to respond to that, though, Jabari? Because you're going to bring us back to what happened an hour ago, remember?
You said it twice, brother. You said it twice, so I'm going to respond. Let me just say very clearly that Seba is a scrapper. There's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with us asking him to weigh in on some of the intellectual topics that we're discussing.
Whatever topic it is.
So wait, listen. So I agreed with you. What I disagreed with is to draw him into the sort of bickering that happens between Reggie and myself, and sometimes you and myself, because that's not about intellectual stuff. That's just about y'all just come from my head, whatever I'm doing.
Oh, you
can be walking an old lady across the street, y'all gonna try to trip me. Right. So I mean, that's just the reality. And I've gotten used to it. And so that's the reality. I came in here to say that I truly appreciated this elder. That's all I came in to do. And Reggie got very angry, told me not to speak, and then asked Smash to speak. It was really bizarre. Y'all are just, everyone sees what you're doing.
I'm not. Are you worried about the chat right now? The chat will say anything.
About the chat. And by
Okay, so I don't know what. Listen, Jabari, I don't know what everybody's saying. I'm saying it was the petty conversation.
All right, yo, hold on, y'all, because he's only gonna be here to 10 o'clock. I want to get some of the audience. I want to get the audience to ask some questions while he's here. This is a Hebrew Israelite. His name is Apostle. Apostle, do you have a question? Not no teacher. A question for the Saber, for the Baba.
Yeah. Is my mic muted?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
It should be muted.
Yeah. Shalom.
Stop, man.
Shalom to your guests, to the panel, to the chat. Kal halal, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I heard a lot of what I would say good information from the elder today, and for the time that he was allowed to speak, I really appreciate it. Hearing from him. I really do. I really do. In spite of the behavior of some of the people on the channel who's always pointing out my behavior.
Right.
But there's not one person on this channel can ever say, regardless of prospect, where elder is coming from, I have never disrespected not one.
I agree.
Never. Ever. Even if I disagreed with him, I was respectful.
Do you have a question now, brother?
Yes, I just want to get that out because I want people to. The only person I heard up here being responsible was Smack. Everybody else is crazy. I don't understand it. Why y'all in front of your teacher, Jabari? Why
Jabari ain't do nothing wrong, brother.
You heard him.
I'm telling you, go back and look at it.
Do you have a question, Apostle?
I'm gonna get yes, sir, sir. I'm gonna get to it.
We'll get to it now because
First of all,
get to 10 o'clock.
My God, man, I've been on here 5 seconds.
He's only gonna be here to 10 o'clock. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Brother how you pronounce your first name?
Bonotchi.
Bonotchi.
Does that have meaning?
Yes. It means the vital force.
Okay, good. We share the same surname. My last name, my government name is Montgomery as well as yours.
Okay.
My family is from King Street, South Carolina.
Okay.
By the Santee River, up in Williamsburg.
It's from Mississippi.
Okay. All right. So I appreciate now. sa.neter asked you the question that I was going to originally ask you. However, I'm going to ask a different question now about the netters.
Okay.
On YouTube, not too long ago, in the Great Pyramid, 110 feet down, they say they found the Osiris sarcophagus. They told us that the word sarcophagus means flesh eater.
Well, yes, it's used to. That's what it's supposed to mean, but it just means a tomb, a burial,
Okay.
someplace.
Yeah, that's part of it. Well, what I'm trying to say is, if they didn't view these nectars at one time as beings that physically existed, they sure got a lot of cartouches, burial grounds.
Okay. Shanu or a cartouche is just a name, right? That's what they wrote the instabilities and various other entities' name in. But because you name something, they got a name for Jesus, but he never existed. So simply because you name something, that doesn't mean it actually exists. It just means that you call it something, even though that's the point of my book, is that we've gotten too comfortable. we got too comfortable with using these European terms.
Yes, sir. I will put that.
We need to drop them. It would end a whole lot of arguments if we just dropped them and realized that instead of using these terms to try to understand them, let's try to understand them within their own culture and how they were used there. And that's why I have a problem with, when we said earlier about is worshiping and praising. I don't know if that's what they did. I don't know if the actions that we're looking at represent those things. That's what they have been called by Europeans. But once again, to understand Kemet, we got to go into Africa because it's an African country. So why should we keep using these European terms and ideas to express these concepts that we know these terms don't fit? So let's just drop them.
Okay.
Well, can I real quick?
Hold on. I got
No.
I just wanted to say something to what Apostle said. Just wanted to add some information that backing up what Bob was saying. When you say sarcophagus, no ancient Egyptian said that. No ancient Egyptian thought it was flesh eating. That's going back to the Greek. They would say nabank for that same thing that the Greeks called a sarcophagus. A nabank, there's also another name for it, but a neb-ankh would be like the Lord of life. And so we could see how they had the proper knowledge of what was going on, while the Greeks thought the stone ate the flesh. So they called it a sarcophagus. I just wanted to add that.
All right. Let me move on over to Rkhty. Let's go, brother. You got a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask the elder if these books would be recommended by him, because I'm reading them now. And this is a brother by the name of Dr. Charles S. Finch III.
Finch is okay, but you have to realize that when it comes to the meta-nature, his use is going to be faulty because he cannot translate the text. So I've read, I like his works, but when I read some of his understanding and expression of the meta-nature is way off, not even close.
Okay, I'm on your side. And this one right here too. I got two more. This one, can you see it? This is Karanga's.
Karanga work is very good, but Karanga once again does not use text, but he does give you a good breakdown on the what I would say that how Ma'at function as a principle in Kemet.
Okay, and the last one is this one here. I know you know that one.
Oh yes, right.
And I read it like 12 times, and I'm steady. I always learn something when I read it.
Yes, you can read that book a zillion times, and you will always find something. It's so full of information and nuances. Yes. Just Job and Obenga are just intellectual giants. So right, I read them several times myself.
Baba, do you know that? One second, Baba. Do you know? Real quick. So, Baba, do you know I was on a translation team with Yalinghi Ngimi, Dr. Jeff Clark?
Yeah. Just if I let you have it when I buy me something else.
Okay.
Can't hear you. Yeah, I said, did you know that I was on a translation team for that book with Dr. Clark, Dr. Jeffries, and Yalinghi Ngimi to bring that into English?
Oh, the English, yes. No.
Yeah, I was part of that small group of people that brought it into being when Yalinghi was translating it in the Department of Black Studies, and we got him a computer, which I managed. Okay. And it was one of the first books that was written in a computer without Microsoft Word. Okay.
My last statement to you.
That was your last statement. Sa.neter. Kim, what's up, brother? You got a question?
Yeah, peace to the panel and everybody on there. Bonotchi, what's going on? I just wanted you to go over the atomic theory because it's a particular person that come on here and he claimed that Obenga claimed that it came out of Kemet when he never claimed that himself. So could you clear that up?
Right. No, the atomic theory. A lot of people speculate that the story of coming into being that they use as atom is also representative of, the concept that you were talking about. Once again, the problem is that you can't just take European ideas and concepts and transfer them into Kemet and use those concepts to express is reality in Kemet, because they don't. So the atomic theory does not have any foundation in Kemet like we think of it. But what you have to realize is that reality, people describe is reality functioning in similar ways. What you have to always do is check out the cultural content. We check out the cultural content. The atomic theory, so to speak, doesn't really fit. It's a sort of a stretch.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to clear that up because he kept on trying to put standing wave, atomic theory, and all that.
Right, thank you. You cleared it up, brother. All right, Morpheus, let's go. Got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. Saber, thanks for coming on and sharing your knowledge and wisdom with us. We appreciate that. Watching what you brought up on a presentation about Khepri and stuff, would it be fair to say that sa.neter is a language of nature, right? And the reason why I ask that is because it seems that, to me, sa.neter being the oldest, or one of the oldest, or oldest written language,
right,
that the language all has to do with nature. And all the other languages that come after it, Hebrew, Latin, Greek, have nothing at all to do with nature.
Now, let me elaborate that. Let me elaborate up on that. I definitely agree. One thing I have suggested, that we stop translating sa.neter as divine words or sacred words. Sa.neter literally means the words of nature. So you are correct about that in terms of, and it shows you the importance of languages that are tied to nature. If a word or concept is not tied to nature, I like to tell people, how do you understand it? How do you engage it? And then how do you express it? Because once again, how did I define nature? Nature is the environment of our shared experiences. So that means that if it really exists, you can share it with someone.
All right. Let me go on over to Unc. You got a question, brother?
Yeah, thank you for that.
No, I just would like everybody to support the elder in his book. I got his book, and it's a great.
Which one you got?
The one, the words. Let me find it right here.
The ambiguous.
Yes.
Ambiguous nature of words.
Yes. He sent me.
All right. Did anybody put the link up yet for his book?
You can get it on Zulu. Hold on, I'll drop it. I'll put it in the back.
Yeah, I put it up several times, but not from a mod. So
yeah, put it in the back. I'll drop it right in.
All right.
Hey, Elder, hey, you make me proud for you being from Detroit.
Yo, brother.
That's rock cool.
Well, it's cool. I thought at some point. Wait, Bob.
Right. Let me go to Jabari. You got a question?
Let me finish my point, though. Sorry, you cut me off. I was getting the link.
We're Bob in Detroit.
Oh, well, I'm a.
All right. I'm gonna finish my point. My point is, I don't have any questions. Any questions I have, I'll call you personally, talk to you. I appreciate you. No disrespect. I just know your mind is clear and you up for the smoke. I appreciate you, sir.
Hey, that's what I'm trained for.
So because it was still my show. So can I get my 3 minutes in?
Yes, let me get Jabari first before you go in. Let me see if you got a question. Jabari, do you have a question?
Let me ask one thing. Where is the brother from Detroit?
Yeah, I was trying to say my name is Rkhty, brother, Elder, and I live in LA now, but we came off of 6 Mile and Pinehurst and McNichols.
Oh yeah,
But I've been out here all this time, about 30, 40 years. But I'm gonna get your book. I'm gonna definitely do that. And I left my number in the back chat. Hopefully you can call me and we can engage.
Yes.
You've been out in California for 30-something years?
Come on, man. You know that, sir.
So stop saying you're from Detroit, brother.
No, we different. Detroit
Just
different.
stop it, man.
We different, Tom. You know that.
Just
Okay,
stop
Tom,
it, man. You done gave up, man. You come on, man. You renegade. You're a renegade now, man.
I'm still from DC. What that mean?
Yeah, but Posse, you only been missing from DC for like 2 years. That's it.
No, man, I've been missing from DC for over 30 years.
Oh,
you ain't DC no more. You're not DC.
I'm DC. I'm still DC.
Nah, I can't be.
East Coast family.
Oh,
Still DC. I was a dog when I left DC.
All right.
I put the link in there for you, Sal. Check for the book. I put the link in there for you, Sal.
All right, all right, got you. Let me get it.
Put it on your name.
Here's the question.
Let's stay in touch. Take my email link down and let's stay in touch.
Yes, sir. You got my number.
All right, Jabari, you got the floor, Jabari.
Yeah. Quick question.
I'm not going to be able to get your number from the chat.
I don't see the link. It's not a link there.
Yeah, it's under your name. It's under your name, Sal. I sent it to you personally in your name. You don't know how to do it?
Yeah, I'm looking now.
You and I communicated it. Text me your stuff right now and I'll shoot it right over to the elder.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
I'll do that through Cam Mineta.
Yes.
Yeah, don't send it to me. I ain't gonna send it the number. I'm gonna send it to somewhere else.
All right, everybody, y'all need to know. Here's the link for the book. The link for the book is in the chat. Hold on, everybody. Everybody, hold on. The link for the book is in the chat if y'all interested.
Yeah. If I might ask, Elder, I have seen you talk about that Ra as a SAR image with the glyphs and translate it. And one of the questions I asked you, which I found really profound and have been thinking about extensively, is that the image that we see is not the image that we're familiar with of Ra, right? Ra is usually the falcon with the sun on his head. And you gave a really interesting answer. I was hoping you could put that back up and speak to why Ra appears in that manner. Because I've noticed it's the same way that he appears in each of the burials in the Valley of the Kings and Queens. When they refer to Ra, it's the same image. So your understanding of it was helpful for me.
Ra, when you see him in
if he could share some that, I want him to
a wrapped form like he's in. Let me see, where is that? Let's see.
Rakufu, I think we hear you if you can mute. I think that's Rakufu.
Okay, I'm not sure. Let's see, where is it at here? Is it in this one? Okay, what screen are you looking at?
We're seeing the ambiguous nature of words.
Okay.
What are words? The PowerPoint.
Okay. Here. Hold for 1 second. I think Ra has various forms, and all of these the text really shows that all of these netures are interconnected. And that
we're still seeing the ambiguous nature of
I'm
words.
trying to find, it's filibustering, trying to find.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Because I certainly have.
Because when Ra is in the duat, he's in a weakened form. And
right.
That state, or how he's pictured in that image, you can tell he's in a weakened form. That's why he has the two Neteret supporting him. Now, in the picture, it looks like they're standing on the side of him. They're actually at his back. And by the shape of their hands, you saw
Obenga. Could you share my screen just so you could you can see the image?
Obenga describes yes, okay. Yes. This is an image of Ra. In the duat, Ra is towed in a boat. And you'll find that he is assisted greatly by feminine Neterets. And that these feminine Neteret not only support him, they fight off his enemies. When you see the sun coming up in the morning and the first light In Kemet, the first light was imaged as the feminine Neteru, who were also, they breathe fire, and they're burning up Apophis. So what they're showing you is that light comes from the fire of the Neterets. These Neterets were one of the major assists for Ra in the Dua. And what got me really interested in this was one of my a group of my students that they have been translating the book of the Dua for a few years now, and I started to notice that every time somebody was getting their ass kicked, it was the feminine Neteru who was doing it. And then I started to see that the feminine Neterus are the ones that you have to fear. In the Insu, that snake on his brow, it brings fire, and it's feminine, and it often says that like she is the protector of Ra. So we look at this and don't see the importance of feminine energy. Why? Because nobody has really told us what that snake actually represents. I've had some conversations, and simply because it was a fire-breathing serpent, people start talking about Kundalini. And I tell them, when you read the text, they don't say a damn thing about Kundalini. These serpents are protectors in Ra. So, in Kemet, where does light come from?
Where does light come from? Within, like shining, like from Ra. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but even the source of Ra's light, a lot of times, if I've shown you that light that you see in the morning, that's not Ra. That's feminine Neteru burning up Apophis. So they are defeating the opposition to Ra, so he can come into being, so he can be reborn. So the light in Kemet comes from fire.
Can I ask you to look at a text for me in regard to what you just said in your own free time, pyramid text?
But wait. Yeah. I don't think he was finished yet. I want him to explain. I'm sorry, Smash. I want him to explain why Ra doesn't look like a falcon here, because you're seeing him as a ram, right?
Because in the falcon form, he is a living Ra. This is Ra in the Dua. He's not the same Ra.
But we know it's Ra by reading the text, right? It says this is Ra.
The Falcon Ra is full of power. This Ra is he's in a weakened state. That's why he's being supported by these two women. Also, these two sisters. That's why also you don't see his arms. They show he's in a weakened state. He's not active. His arms is not showing. He's not active. All of this is just symbolism of how they are expressing this idea of Ra being in the Dua. When you look at Ra in the Dua, he's told, because he's in bad shape. So he's told through the Dua, and he's told by various natures, individuals, and entities. So we really don't have a conceptualization of this, because for us, gods are all, when we look at these concepts of God, God is always all powerful.
Dua.
That's why these concepts are problematic when you want to use them to explain the Neteru. Because the minute you use it, the minute you start seeing this form of Ra as a God, it becomes very problematic. Because, like I say, he's in a very weakened state.
Okay. We have only 8 minutes left. And
right. Okay.
In the 8 minutes left, I want to make sure that Baba has been compensated so he can come back on our show. I want him to make sure he's a friend of sa.neter's show. I also want to extend that, and I'll try to set it up for Baba to be on Smash's show. And Unc already has a great relationship with Baba Bonotchi. So my job as a student of a Baba is to try to make sure that the world knows his work. My last comments, if any, is generally you spoke about spirituality right? Very clearly, and people should go back about it, right? These concepts that, or these things that these people are doing in the new tradition called Kemetic tradition, I think that you spoke about it well, that people need to read the Meta-Neter to try to, and then consult with people who do know the Meta-Neter. I think that you made that perfectly clear. So anything that's done without reading the Meta-Neter, right, is really non and void. It may be nice.
It has some faults. There's some faults and some misunderstandings. I like to express it that way because it's more precise.
Okay. That's it.
He on you, Jabbar. He on your head, Jabbar.
All right. Hold on, Harwin, where you at? Because Harwin, now we got a master teacher here. Harwin, you there? You got a question? Harwin, where you at? Going once? Going twice. All right.
Better bring him.
Gone. All right, he's out. He don't want the smoke.
Hey, yo, can I just add what I was trying to add earlier?
He was there.
Yes, brother. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Brother Baba, could he look at Pyramid Text 318 in regards to what he said? Not right now. If you can remember in your own time, Pyramid Text 318 is in Una's pyramid in regard to Kundalini. I know that's gonna shock you that I even asked you to do that, but I will talk to you about it later if you can look at it.
I look at text all the time. That don't shock me. I like having discussions around the text.
I do that every day on my show. I got the leading show with the Meta-Neter as far as black men concerned on YouTube, right? So I would invite you to follow Smash Rockwell. That's my channel on YouTube.
All right. I got an important message to make for everybody. And I did this before, but I didn't enforce it. Somehow I got eased back into the old way. And I did this before. And so I'm gonna say it now in front of everybody. And this is not for Reggie. So don't think I'm doing this because of Reggie. I'm doing it now that whenever we do shows and we do interviews, I don't want people, because everybody always try to say, and Reggie never did this, so you know I'm not talking about Reggie. This is my show. Get them off. Get them off. We ain't doing that no more. People do that because they scared to answer questions. So we're not doing that no more. It's not your show. It's my show. I use my discretion on how it goes. That's how it got to be, because people use that all the time just to get rid of the person where they don't want to answer questions. And a lot of people do that. Like I'll bring on Inky. I'll bring on my man. What's my man's name? I call him the champ. Commission Adept. He does that a lot. And, this is my show. I don't get him off of here, sa.neter. And so I put me in the middle of that. Get him off, sa.neter. You got to get him off. I'm not doing that no more. I use my discretion on how the show would go, and that's it. So this is the toughest environment, man.
You say they don't use it right, huh?
Yeah, they don't use it right. They don't use it right, man.
Yeah, you're right.
So Reggie never did that though. Reggie never came at me like that and say, "Y'all get him out of here."
Hey, Baba, I got one last question, if I may.
Oh man,
No problem. Go ahead.
This is my last question. Right? The term that we use colloquially, spirituality, right? What does that mean does it mean the same thing, like how other religions or Christianity
They have no word for spirituality in Khepri. No such concept or word existed.
So how about the concept?
I've asked a ton of people to show me word spirituality in Khepri. You have to realize that they did not fragment its reality the same way that we do. To them, reality functions as complements. To Western mind, reality is based on opposition. So just on that point, you will see that they're not going to describe its reality the same way because they didn't see it as a divided concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what I said earlier. I said that, like, I always like to ask people what their spiritual practices are, and they tell you what they do physically. Because the only way you can do something is physically. Now you can believe something spiritually, but that's just a belief. When you act, it's going to be physical, and that physical action will be able to be shared, viewed by everybody.
Bob.
All right. I want to now.
You gotta listen.
The clock. I want Elder Baba to close us out. And no, before Baba close out, because I want him to have the last word. I want Dr. Reggie to close out, and then I go to Baba where he close out for the last word.
Mine's just really simple. Thank you all for joining us tonight on Black News 102 sa.neter Studios, the greatest place where we can actually get answers. I want you to support your channel by donations, not spiritually, with physically, and support Baba Bonotchi, his donation, and his book. And that's about it. And thanks, sa.neter, for allowing me to bring this elder on, and I hope to see him again. That's all.
All right. I dropped the link to his book once again. It's inside of there. Make sure y'all get it. Don't pass it by. And Baba, you got the floor. Close us out, sir.
Okay, I want to make sure I heard this straight. You said that was the pyramid text 318 or 312?
Yes, sir, 318.
Okay.
And lastly, I will also ask you to look at the state of construct of Aku with the spirit. If you in the state of the spirit, I need answers on that.
Okay, I will.
Hey, Elder, you gotta go on tonight's show though.
Okay. Let him close out, y'all. Yo, Rafu, let him close out, man. Let him close out, everybody.
By closing out, even though we didn't ask the ancestors to come, I very seldom do any type of interviews or ceremony, anything without asking the ancestors to come. But we didn't do that here, so that was my oversight. But with that said, I would like to thank you all, because my words don't mean anything without ears to hear it. So that, like, otherwise I'd just be talking to myself. So I tell everyone, when they say that they appreciate me, that appreciation goes right back, because I repeat, my words would only be me talking to myself if I didn't have ears to hear me and then understand what I'm saying and have a conversation with me, because that's what all this is all about. We're trying to have a conversation so that we can better understand our reality from an African worldview, because we are being killed by these Europeans over here, and we need to understand that we have to fight them physically and intellectually.
Baba, is all energy constant?
Yes.
It just changes forms. Yes.
That's it.
So that means that the ancestors have energy that just changes forms. The ancestors, correct?
Yeah. Most
that's just some people use the term spirit, and some people use the term energy.
Yes. Okay.
So spirit is real, because I speak to the spirit. I speak to the spirit all the time.
I tell my granddaughter this: when I die, if you want to be haunted, let me hear that you gave any acknowledgement to Allah, God, Jesus, any of these fools.
Not that.
Because you know your granddad's love. You know your Bible's love. You have experienced that. And I'll do anything to help you. So when I die, give me the food I like, light up a split for me, and I will be there to assist you.
What if I was to say to you that the Neteru, the Kemetic gods, they were all just like, they were all made.
No guys in Kemet. You won't give me the answer to that question.
I was saying that it was all created by man. Man created that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Sir, can I ask the elder one last question?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay, elder, I just wanted to ask you, for the people listening, can you show my screen? Okay. I got these different 3 books. The book Perthim Haru, but this one by Raymond Faulkner.
Turn the other one up right.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
There
and
you
then I
go.
got the third one right here. Out of the 3, I was told that Raymond Faulkner's book is the best translation.
No, there is no best translation.
Okay.
I asked Moot the same thing 50 years ago.
Okay.
And she said, none of them. You have to learn to read the text for yourself. I tell you the same thing.
Perfect.
All of them have faults. I just showed you in Bud. I can show you in each one of them books a problem with their translations.
Okay.
Rakufu is like a kid in a candy store with his books.
That's good foundation.
Yeah, he get new
bullshit.
He get new stuff and can't wait to share it to the people, boy. That's what's up, brother. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. That's
all right. And so with that, Jabari, you got any words, man?
I was hoping to ask Baba if he could close. I know he begins his classes with the Hotep D Nasud. Maybe he can close the Hotep D Nasud.
Yeah. Hotep D Nasud. Emi Watt. Tippy Juel. Emi Watt. A Perekaru of Apaju Shimshimet, a Rip, and a Page. Ashe.
Thank you, man. I'm hoping to get you again. You're dynamic, and I remember you, brother. This is sa.neter speaking. I remember you when you was younger. I used to be on 125th Street teaching with the bullhorn, and I used to talk about the lynchings and the stuff, and I used to have them hanging up on 125th Street.
Okay. You look familiar. I mean, like I
Yeah,
said,
you do too.
I ran into so many people throughout life until I realized that I can't remember everybody.
Right.
Hey, so it's probably through SETI.
No, it's not through SETI.
Definitely went through SETI. You know, SETI, he's from here. He's from Detroit.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
This is the image I know you from right here. This image.
Get that man on Smash Show. Y'all like
That's the image that I know right there. I seen that image before.
Oh yes, that's a younger me.
Yeah, that's where I seen that.
I was at all the ASCAT conferences. That's where you would have seen.
Oh yeah, see, me and Reggie took me to one of the ASCATs before.
That's why I met. I met you at that conference.
Reggie, you forgot that, huh?
sa.neter, we've been around for a long time.
Yeah, you took me to the ASCAT meeting before.
Yeah, I took Dr. Ben to the debates, but yeah. So I'm just so happy that we got a chance to talk to one of the greats that many people did not know, and he's family. He's family to a lot of us that know him, right? And who support his work and try to push him out, because we don't have Dr. Ben anymore and Diop. We do have Obenga, but it's hard to get him, and we do have Rkhty.
We're gonna put together a comedic conference, man.
What you playing, brother?
Yeah, well, yeah. So and on three-way meet when you call, and
I'm gonna call him. Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And Unc, I want to say to you, Unc, I am very, very, very proud of you. You showed growth today. No, you showed some maturity and growth. When you first came on, you gave shout out to Brother Smash, and that's good, brother, because y'all two, you know, been at it for a minute, and so I say I'm proud of you for that, brother.
And he even gave me a little love.
I want to say shout out to Minty Hotep. I do watch your shorts. Peace, Minty Hotep, for just being part of the family. There's a lot of sisters here that we don't acknowledge, but she watches our shows. The sa.neter, there's a lot of people on this chat that saying things, crazy things like I'm jealous and hateful.
Why are you reading it then? You know they crabs.
Right. So I just need to deal with sa.neter. So sa.neter, I bring you guests for your show? Great. I step back, I close my screen, I let it happen. Right.
I put a lot of people on 24-hour block too. For the next.
Why y'all reading that? Y'all reading the crabs.
Okay, so that's it. So yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
If you don't want to be on 24, because you know what, I support me and sa.neter. We argue, but you know what, I support the work that he do.
But we don't go too far with it. So
Can I say this, sa.neter? Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I would like to see Bonotchi on Smash Show and watch them read together. It ain't gonna be as easy as y'all think it is, but I would definitely respect that moment right there.
You'll pay to see that?
Yeah, but I want to see him on Smash Show. I think it'd be a healthy.
Would you pay to see that?
No, on Smash Show is free.
I
bro.
know. I said, would you pay to see it?
Interrupting my message right now.
What I'm saying is, Cash App, man, support the elder through the Cash App.
Man, I support the damn elder. I'm trying to make a point here.
I know the point you're making.
Right, man. My point is, I would like to see the young meet the old in a meta-nature conversation.
And pass the touchdown, you say.
Don King, I got nothing on sa.neter.
I'm just saying Christ.
Hell, I'm trying to see that. I want to see that.
You say Christ?
sa.neter said that you can see it. He's saying that you can see it live on this show. That's what sa.neter is doing.
I'm saying
no. I'm saying you can see it on Smash Show, but just support the elder. That's all.
I'm not frustrated at Christ.
That's not my point, man. Y'all funny dudes. I'm trying to make a point here, yo. I'm saying is you should always have a person that's older than you that's doing the same things you do. Had that conversation and had a conversation live, yo. You see what your strengths and weaknesses is.
Yes.
I do it all the time, yo. I think I know something about evolution, right? And I talk to certain like Katie, he be like, no, you wrong. And I gotta work that out. So that's all I'm asking for is for that.
All right, peace and blessings, everybody.
Peace, family.
Let the doorknob hit you where the good comedic Lord splits you.
Hotel.
The HOK is the toughest environment. Enter at your own risk. The HOK is the toughest environment. Enter at your own risk.
Yo, I grew up where the air hung heavy and thick. Every corner a battlefield. Gotta be quick, street light, neon sound. In the toughest environment, feet on the ground. I talk fluent in the silent language that the broken walls speak. This is a fortress of steel. When that patch speaks, no escape from HOK. This is real. Before you come in here, you better know the deal.
Carry the whole block's weight in my soul. Born from the cinder block, ashes, people are cool. The toughest environment is me. Built from the concrete, the toughest environment is sa.neter. When you step into the Colosseum, we gon' see them. The ancient of the days, artifact in the museum, yeah.
Enter at your own risk. Don't be like a little bitch.
Oh my, my. Enter at your own risk.
Don't be like a little bitch.
Yeah, this way it goes down, 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 down. Try to win, you gotta have tough skin.
The concrete freeze like ice. Israelites cool-blooded, think twice, The air cuts like a scalpel. Survival ain't a choice, it's a physical grapple. With the street lights blink, judgment in the shadows hold a price. Grew callous over fear, paid my dues in pure sacrifice.
Shout out to all those that support this channel. Special thanks to you. Without you, there is no me.
Jay.